All right, hello everyone. So this is my RE4 pro mode, no save, no damage guide. Um, this is my first time doing a guide, so this is going to be a little rough. So my apologies in advance. Um, so a few things before we start looking at the run itself. So the rules for this run that I'll be following are pro mode, obviously. Um, Special costume 2 not allowed. The one where Ashley is in the armor suit for obvious reasons. It's kind of a cheat code, and neither Leon nor Ashley are allowed to take damage. And in fact, Ashley is completely invincible when she's in the armor suit. And also, it's extremely annoying. And I don't feel like listening to that the whole time. So that's not allowed. This will be glitchless. So you can quibble about what's a glitch and what's not a glitch for a couple things in here, and we'll talk about that when we come to it. But that mostly means I'm not allowed to use the Ditman glitch or the striker glitch, which makes you move, I believe, like 1.5 times as fast, because that really trivializes some running sections. And also, no out of bounds glitches are allowed. What else? Also, so yeah, no save, obviously, and neither Leon nor Ashley can take damage. But grabs are okay as long as they don't do damage. So grabs from behind for Leon, or letting Ashley get abducted intentionally, which I do once. Or if she accidentally gets abducted, that is fine too. Okay. Also, a couple things that I think will make your life easier if you plan on running this. So notice I have a little thingy here. I'll put links to the things I'm talking about in the description of this video. But so this is called. It's just a little program called RE4 counter. It keeps track of your difficulty adjustment, which will not be a factor in this run because we're playing pro. It's already set to max difficulty at all times. But it also tells you how much money you have, which will be useful. I don't use it that much, but it's nice to be able to see without opening your inventory. And it also tells you how many kills you've gotten in a chapter, which will be useful in a couple spots. So we'll mostly be using this in the cabin, where you want to get 40 kills. And then it's useful to know if you missed a kill here and there in the cabin. And also it's semi-useful at the very beginning, but not terribly useful. It's mostly good for the cabin. Yeah, that's about it. I don't really need to get into remapping, I think. Remapping buttons or changing laser color and things of that nature. But yeah, okay. So let's get started. Alrighty. So okay, so this route is a relatively quick route. It's should be under 2 hours if you move pretty quickly and you don't, you know, dilly-dally around too much. I'll point out some places where you could do slightly slower and a little safer strats, and I've recorded some of those. But who am I talking to? Come on. Talking to the audience, dude. Okay, I should not be acknowledging chat. They're just trying to kill my guide here. Okay, I'll edit that out. Anyways, I don't even remember what I was talking about. But yeah, it's a relatively quick route. But honestly, a lot of those quick strats are safer strats. Also, I in the time between when I recorded all of this yesterday and now, I've already thought of a few improvements. I'll point those out. That's one reason I never get around to doing guides, because I always think of an improvement after I've recorded everything. But anyways, let's roll. Oh, hang on. What did I just push? Nope, don't crop. What the hell? There we go. I don't know what I just pressed, but everything sounds fine. Everything sounds good. Okay. That's, yeah, I'm assuming it's fine. All right. So, okay, we're coming up on, first guy. Thanks for the meme host, Pantera. All right, so you're gonna shoot him 4 times. Sometimes you get a lucky crit, but you can. Wow, this is going great, guys. Thank you, Gabe. So we shoot him 4 times, and you can reload right before the cutscene, and that'll help speed things along a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna run up and ignore everyone, and we're just gonna shoot this pro for the grenade here. And I like to equip the grenade to run through here. So if you didn't know, having nothing equipped or a weapon that is only takes 1 hand or no hands lets you run a decent amount faster. And I'll be utilizing that for speed in some sections. But for here, it makes it extremely easy to get past these guys. So you can cut through here, just fake this guy out, and you'll get past them every time. It's a lot easier than doing that with the handgun. Okay, so the village strat here, what we want to do is we want to kill 15 enemies. And there are different ways of doing this, but this is the easiest, quickest one. There's a different way to do the second grenade, but I'll point that out when we get to it. Anyway, so what you want to do is you want to, as quickly as you can, get up to this first group of enemies and kill 1 guy. So you can do that a little quicker by doing a little trick here. So you activate the cutscene that lets you look, and then quickly deactivate it, and that'll teleport you forward by a few seconds. Not necessary, but it speeds things up a bit. And actually, I discovered that, believe it or not, ages ago. But yeah, okay, so we're going to shoot this guy 7 times. And I like to move my inventory a bit. Otherwise, everything gets really disgusting. So this allows you, when you grab shotgun ammo, that'll slot right here. And then we're going to get rid of this first aid spray later. We're going to sell it, and then we'll replace it with a grenade. And then the inventory looks much nicer, and there's much less work we have to do. Find things. Okay, so just avoid everyone running the shotgun shack. And we're going to instantly throw a grenade out this little slit here. So this is a surprisingly... you'll get used to it, but when you first start doing it, you're going to miss this grenade throw a lot. So the trick I found is to rotate before you aim. Do not aim your grenade and then rotate. You're asking for trouble. It's so much more difficult. So what you want to do is run in, instantly rotate, and just a little bit, aim and sort of throw down at the same time. Or sorry, rotate, aim, go down and throw it a bit. And it should, with practice, work out nicely every time. Okay, so that's going to get us to 8 kills, if you did it correctly. So go up, grab the shotgun, grab the grenade. So there are 2 ways to do this. You can either throw a grenade out the window, which is a little bit slower, but safer. That's sort of the old way of doing it, and the way no merchant runs do it. Or you can run down, jump out the window, and go down to this group of enemies here. So kind of the trick here is it's a little dicey. but you want to be out of range of the chainsaw guy, basically, but not so far away that you can't run forward and jump over the the gate or whatever in time to avoid this guy throwing his axe. So you want to throw it down a bit because you want to be getting this entire group. And I think maybe a guy over here, but if you miss someone, you'll know because the cutscene won't play. But yeah, you can grab a bit of stuff. You have a little bit of time, and then you want to reload during the cutscene. Yeah, so you should hit 16 kills if you got everyone. If you didn't, just shotgun someone in the face or restart. That's what I usually do, but doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay. So we got our handgun. We're going into the next area. All we're going to do here is just shoot down this treasure. That'll be worth 10k. And we want to have that so we can buy a rocket for El Gigante, because rocketing bosses is pretty much how this run goes. We'll be buying a bunch of rockets. Okay. All right, so that's really all that's going on in 1-1. Not much else can go wrong other than screwing up the grenade, which is, the grenades are surprisingly technical. You will have some resets to those, but you'll get better. All right, so just run past here, open the door. You're probably gonna want to grab that, and that's 1-1. Okay. So now we're heading into 1-2, which is one of the biggest reset points, believe it or not. It's a very surprisingly technical and random chapter at the very beginning. So it's, if you're resetting a lot in a day to 1-2, that's honestly okay. It happens to the best of us. But this is the movement I found that helps make this the most consistent at the beginning. Okay. So you want to be really quick here. Okay, so we want to go through. We want to grab this rifle ammo for later. But it's a little. You want to take a pretty tight path, because if you're just a little bit late downstairs, like running down to the emblem, you get some nasty stuff with the enemies. So take the tightest path you can. You kind of want to take a little bit of a left turn and then go around to grab rifle ammo. And then take as tight a path you can, coming over here. Go in and fake out this first guy. Sometimes he takes a bit to turn around, but usually he's not too bad. Yo, thank you for the 3 months, Mr. PDM. UWU indeed. What's up, man? Okay, so this is where I diverge a bit from the speed run. This area is really random. If you run immediately up the ladder, come back down. Often there's a group waiting for you at the door, and going around, it's really easy just to get completely blocked from being able to go past the group of enemies. So what I like to do is I actually like to grab this flash over here, and that tends to give me much better enemy placement. And plus, now we got a flash, and it's a pretty quick one, and we don't need to grab a flash later. So the way you want to do this is you want to enter the door, like on the far left side here. Run right at right to the left of the axe thrower, and 95% of the time he'll throw his axe. Sometimes he'll attack and you gotta juke him out, but that's fine. So go grab this, turn around quickly, and go right up the ladder. If you did that quickly, you should not have to worry about being attacked by the pitchfork guy. Sometimes you'll get really unlucky and there's a grabber behind you, but doesn't happen too often. Okay, also up here, you want to turn around really. You can either do a 180, the movement's a little easier, or you can do a couple quick turns. But you want to be really quick in grabbing this emblem because that axe thrower can hit you if you're not quick. Then I do a quick turn here, run over here. Okay, so there's going to be a pitchfork guy coming at you. And depending on the RNG, he could be, way out here, in which case you can just run around him pretty easily. Or he could be right in your face, in which case you just want to shoot him. Just shoot him and run past. So if you're quick, you should not have any enemies coming out unless you're really unlucky. But that works out here. Okay, so another nice thing about grabbing that grenade is you now have a running grenade. And you move quite a bit faster than with the handgun. Okay, so that guy up there, if you grab the flash and you were quick in running around, he should be around here where he's not able to grab you. If you're quick and running up here, he'll often be like right here, and you either got to shoot the barrel or fake him out or that kind of thing. But this is also another reason I like to grab the flash. Okay, so if you get him to sidestep or try to grab you, he'll then pull out his axe and gives you plenty of time to run right past him. If he doesn't, when you turn around, you need to be careful because he can rush you. But yeah, either way, fake him out or avoid the rush, and then we head out. Okay, I spent a ton of time on this first area, but I promise this is one of the most technical areas in the game, surprisingly. And movement's really important there, and it's a big reset point. Okay, so this next area, there are a couple things that can happen at the beginning. So depending on how you open the door, if you open on the far right side, speedrunners actually try to do this. This first guy is going to point and yell. He doesn't do that here. So if he doesn't point and yell, you need to be careful. When you run at him, he can either sidestep, in which case you can run right by him, or he will be facing directly at you and he can rush you like that. So just be ready for that, because he'll usually rush you if he doesn't sidestep. Okay, so if he doesn't point, then this pitchfork guy here is going to point. So just run right for this area here, and this pitchfork guy also will not point. Whereas if he does point and yell, the guy immediately when you open the door, often this pitchfork guy will also point and yell, in which case you don't need to fake him out. Okay, so we're going to fake this guy out, but this is another fairly movement-sensitive part. So you want to fake this guy out, but don't move too far forward because that'll aggro one of the dynamite guys in here. That's not the end of the world, and you can deal with it. But if he doesn't aggro, then it's a little quicker here. So we're gonna break open this first window here, and keep an eye on this guy here. If you see him holding dynamite, then you do not want to run forward yet because you're going to get hit. If you see him holding dynamite, he's going to throw it. So just right where you jump in, move just slightly to the side so you can't get pitchforks through the window, but where you won't be stunned by the dynamite, and equip your handgun and then shoot the dynamite from the second guy. And that'll take care of everyone. But here, if you did the movement correctly, neither of the guys should aggro. And then you can run right for the barrier here. Wait a sec, jump over. Iframes are amazing in this game. Every action gives you iframes, basically. So iframe the dynamite. And then slow open the door as the pitchfork guy tries to attack you. And if you are in the slow open animation, you also have iframes. And then as soon as he's past you, you can finish the open thing. It honestly, this is all just a bit faster, but if you want to take it nice and slow, you could simply just shoot the dynamite when one of the guys throws it, and that'll kill everyone, and you can safely run past. Yeah, okay, so open the door, quickly right turn. The pitchfork guy will always miss you if you move through there quickly. Whoops. And this thrower right here will basically always throw a bit to the right, to your right. So if you just move slightly to the left, it's always going to miss you. It's a little scary, but for some reason, he always throws a little to the right. Okay, and so we're going to shoot down Pocket Watch, worth another 10,000. I like to re-equip the grenade, but honestly, it's not really necessary. I don't even know if it's that much faster. Make sure that you have a shot for the next section. But yeah, okay, so that's 1-2. I spent a lot of time on that, way more than I expected, but most of the other chapters will be a lot more straightforward in their movement. I promise they're not all going to be that technical. Okay. I hope it's not a 5-hour recording, dude. All right, so we're going downstairs. Okay, so to your right over here, there is an incendiary grenade. I really only grab what I need, and don't grab too many safety grenades at all in this run. But bear in mind, you could grab that if for some reason you want an incendiary later. But we don't really need that many incendiaries until we get to Mendez. We only need 3 before Mendez, and there are a whole bunch. Okay, so running through here, take not a super tight line to the right of the chainsaw dude, because if you're too tight and you get to the axe guy too quickly, instead of throwing, he can attack. So just veer around a bit. And this group on the exit is surprisingly irritating. What I like to do is I like to shoot this guy. So we have 2 unarmed guys, an axe thrower in the back, and then a pitchfork lady. So this guy's going to run out always. He can either run to the left or to the right. But I like to run up, and I like to shoot him in the face from a distance back here. The reason I do that is because often you can get a critical headshot, and so his head will just explode, and then you can't kick him and use that for crowd control. And that's kind of a pain in the ass. But if he's that far back, if you get a crit, he almost always flies back anyways and will knock the other guys back, allowing you to safely run through. And if he doesn't, if he just stands around, which I don't think I've seen before, but if he does, that gives you time to, shoot Pitchfork Lady in the face or react. If you shoot him right when he's in your face, usually he's going to be too far away, even when you kick him, if he staggers forward to knock this guy back, which is really the main problem here. But yeah, so I shoot him there. Whether he staggers forward or back, you should still be able to run up to him, kick him, and then knock everyone back. I used to have a lot of trouble there, but that's a very consistent strat. I re-equipped the grenade here, but it's not necessary. Probably not actually faster. Yeah, if you have the grenade, then that guy with the wheelbarrow will not point at you. He will just run straight at you, so you need to be aware of that. Okay. So we're coming up to our third treasure, and then the merchant. So we're gonna shoot the lantern, and then the treasure here. Okay, so we're coming to the merchant. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sell our first aid spray, because it's damageless, and we don't need a first aid spray, obviously. It's just taking up space in our inventory. And then we're gonna sell the 2 treasures, or the 3 treasures we got.
What are you selling?
And that'll easily give us the 30k. All we're going to do is we're going to buy a rocket for El Gigante. Okay, so run up here, shoot the hand grenade here. And since we sold our first aid spray, the hand grenade is going to slot right next to the handgun, which is really convenient. It's a really quick place to equip a grenade, and it makes it really nice to equip and run. Okay, also, I just ran past another nest where you could shoot down an incendiary grenade. I choose to skip that one. It's a little faster than one of the ones I grab later. But it's safer just to avoid it and run right through here. But bear in mind, you can shoot that down and grab it if you like. Okay, so we're going to shoot this crow here. Grab the flash. And then another boulder. Shake my head. Imagine not simply punching the boulder. Alright, so we're going to come into the swamp. So go under the bridge over here. There's another grenade here. Okay, so it's not super important if you don't do this, but this will give you the nicest, safest way through here. So you want to run up to this first tripwire. Don't shoot it from a distance. What you want to do is you want to run up pretty close to this first guy, and then shoot it right before this dude over here yells, and then immediately shoot the second one and run through. And if you did it correctly, then this guy should be pointing, allowing you just to easily run right past him. Not super important, but it's a little bit faster. Okay, and then we're gonna shoot this treasure down here. And now it's Del Lago time. Okay, so I will put a link to an extremely good video on the Del Lago fight for speedruns, which I would suggest watching. I'm not going to go blow by blow for Del Lago. I'll just give like general tips because it's a very complicated fight. And honestly, I would just learn the speed strat, practice it over and over and over. It's very consistent once you learn it, and it's going to speed things up. And the faster this fight goes, the less chance there is of something going wrong in it. But basically, sort of, the main thing I would suggest is if you're using a controller, you want to be using your D-pad to aim, and not the thumbstick. The D-pad's going to aim like literally twice as fast. It's way faster. You can use a thumbstick for like fine adjustments or whatever, for aiming the harpoon, but mostly use a D-pad for aiming. Okay, so like these first 3 harpoons work the same way every single time. Immediately after the cutscene, equip harpoon, aim down, and throw, and then run right until you see your rope line get taut, and then grab a harpoon and throw down a couple more. And then, okay, so I'm not going to go over this, but there are basically 3 different patterns he can do on the dive. Usually he's going to do the quick dive, in which case you move your boat to the right slightly and then left a bit. But once again, watch the video. He does a rather rare thing here, and he does a slow dive and shows up over here. So if he slow dives, then the camera's going to move. It's going to pan so that either like you're looking over here or over here, and that'll tell you where he's going to resurface. If he slow dives, don't move. Just aim your harpoon wherever the camera goes, so it's going over here. And I whiff here, unfortunately, which is kind of annoying. And that slows me down a bit. But yeah, when he dives here, so he can either early dive, in which case he'll do the long dive and then he'll resurface somewhere, and they have the whole thing, and it takes forever. Early dive sucks, but it happens sometimes. But there, if he does that, you keep going to the right, so your rope line is taut, and as soon as he resurfaces, start throwing harpoons at him. And if you do it correctly, you should not get staggered, and you should be able to throw 5 harpoons at him, which is really nice. And then usually he'll dive here, but I actually get the really good RNG and kind of F it up. You hate to see it. I could have ended the fight here, but I screwed that up. But yeah, because I missed a couple harpoons, that was honestly perfect RNG. But because I missed a couple harpoons, the fight's not over yet. I still need one more. But, you know, who's counting? Not a speed run. I have to remind myself of that every once in a while. Thank you, Rins. I don't know what that was about. But that is 1-3, and holy shit, we're already 30 minutes into the video. This definitely bodes well. Alright. 2-1. Okay, so you can grab the handgun ammo if you like. We shouldn't need it, honestly. We don't need that much handgun ammo. So grab the slash here. Alright. And we can just run right past everyone here. Not too much going on in this area. Whoop. Nice whiff, bro. Wow. Okay, guys. I forgot about that. That was apparently embarrassing enough that I decided I needed to re-record it. You love to see it. Okay. Please don't reset there, though. Oh, another thing. Also, in the rules, so this is a big one. You're not allowed to do resets in this run. Obviously, this is just showing what to do, and this is not an actual run. But for instance, in the water hall, you can't go do the, look, there's a crank over there cutscene, and then save quit to despawn all the enemies. You have to deal with all the enemies. And then same thing in 5.4 in the war zone, you can't save quit, you know, after certain sections to despawn guys. So that's going to change the strats quite a bit. Oh, also, yeah, also this is played on Steam 60 FPS, which mostly will not make a huge difference in the strats, but there are a few sections where things will work very differently on 30 FPS, and in fact, some of the strats I use will not be even doable in 30 FPS, and I'll point this out when we get. Anyways. Alright, so grab the hand grenade there, go shoot these crates down. And you can just equip the rocket launcher and run straight through. So there is a, I believe a pipe, a treasure you can shoot down just to the right over here. And so you could do it like a speed run, and you can fake the guys out and shoot it, which is a little, you know, a little technical and take some practice. Or right here, you could just shoot it down. So it'll be down there before the enemies spawn. That's worth 10k, and honestly, it's probably worth doing. It's a little slower. As we'll see later, I was a little short because of some money that I was counting on and did not get. I'll talk about that when I get there. But this is a nice backup. But it also, if you plan on getting the large case rather than the medium case, you're going to want to shoot that down. And honestly, I would just suggest shooting that down anyways. We get a red, green, yellow in the Mendez cabin, and I think shooting that down is almost certainly faster anyway. So let's just say shoot that down. Oh, yeah, I did not mention that. Sorry. Okay, so this group of enemies is really easy, works the same way every time. This guy's going to ignore you if you run straight at him. So you want to fake these two guys out, run far enough so that the pitchfork guy in the back attacks as well, and then just back up and run right past him. The grabber and the torch guy will never get you. If you do that correctly. Okay, so coming up in El Gigante, very difficult boss. Basically, skip the cutscene and rocket him. And yeah, that's it. One thing I do want to say, though, you do actually have to be careful. I have lost runs here. You want to be careful. When you skip the cutscene, do not be holding forward still. Because if you move like 2 inches forward and then rocket him, you're going to get hit by the blast. That's a really super embarrassing way to lose a run. Please don't do that. So make sure, run forward, cutscene happens, let go of thumbstick, then skip the cutscene. And so you just skip the cutscene, aim. Oh, that did not go where I wanted. Just aim slightly to the left. Like hold left after you aim, and it'll hit him every single time. Easy. If you like, in the very first cabin, you can turn around and there is, I think it's like 1,000 pesetas, some shotgun ammo, and a spinel. We won't be needing that, but that's there if you want it. Okay, so these wolves, as long as you don't run directly at them, they're not going to attack you. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just look up, and they will not lunge you as long as the camera's not physically looking at them. Okay, so over to the right, if instead of going off to the left in the church, you go off to the right, there's a barrel with a flash. We won't be needing it, but it's there if you want it. All right, so that was terrible movement, but church puzzles just spin 2 times, 3 times, then 1. And we're going to grab the incendiary right past here. It's a little slower than shooting down the incendiary before, but honestly not by much, and it's safer because there are no enemies in here whatsoever. You're going to run RE4. I'm holding you to that, Zoodle. I'm holding you to that, dude. All right, and then we just run out, and then that is the end of the chapter. All right, time for the dreaded 2-2. Right. Lots going on in this chapter. Also, home of the dreaded cabin. I have a really nice cabin strat, which I am excited to show you. Whoops, and that is going to make life a lot easier. Very, very professional. I decided not to trim this down, but here we go. All right, so you should be, and you should remain unequipped after you use your rocket. Don't equip a weapon or anything. Just stay unequipped so that you'll have the quicker running speed. All right, coming up on this group of enemies, generally it's safe to keep running straight. But sometimes this guy right here, if you run straight, the very first guy up here will kind of rush right in your face and get near you. And when you try to go to the right, Ashley, being stupid idiot she is, will just duck instead of following you. And then that's a whole thing, and then you gotta go deal with that shit. But I would suggest just run slightly to the right here. That'll avoid that issue every single time. This other guy over here, behind, will do a melee attack with the torch rather than blow fire. So you need to be a little careful about him, but as long as you run to the right past him, you're not going to have to worry about him. Okay, so these next couple areas, the movement's really important. I use mostly the speed strats, because honestly, they're the safest way to get through here. I would not suggest shooting anyone because there are just so many enemies, and so much crap can go wrong. So I like to run to the left of this bear trap here, around her, and then so I fake this pitchfork guy out, but be careful because since he's on a slope, he doesn't do the normal like wind up and then stab thing. He does just the really quick stab down. So when you fake him out, you want to tell Ashley to wait right as he starts attacking. Otherwise, when you're backing up, Ashley will be in front of you and can get hit. That's a move I do in a lot of spots. So the bait out attack, wait, move back, and then tell her to follow is really useful.
Wait.
And then this guy just blows fire, and you don't have to worry about him at all. Just be mindful of these two bear traps here. Okay, so this area is the movement and where I tell Ashley to follow wait and everything is very important because this area is a pain in the ass if you try to shoot anyone or deal with it another way. But this way is very consistent if you learn it. Okay, so you want to run towards the left edge of this window. Towards that, or maybe just slightly to the left of it. And when you get near the window, maybe like around here or right up against the window, honestly, it's a little better to do it slightly early. But
wait,
you want to tell Ashley to follow wait very quickly. So what that'll do is that'll aggro this guy in here to you rather than to Ashley, and it'll get him moving forward earlier. So run towards the left edge of this window, tell her to follow wait, and then bear to the left. And then you want to smoothly go around and in here in such a way that you don't either yourself land or step in a bear trap or lead Ashley to a bear trap. It takes a bit of practice. But if you did it correctly, he should be either behind this ladder or slightly to the right, and he'll either step to the side or try to rush, or sometimes just walk right into it. But if you did it correctly, he should never be able to grab Ashley in time. So notice here, he does sort of aggro to Ashley, but Ashley's already going up the ladder. So when you get to the top, you want to walk until you can see Ashley here, because you don't want to run out too early, or else Ashley's going to get abducted up here. So there I saw Ashley. You can jump over the window. Take a sort of rounded path here. You don't want to run straight at these guys because they're going to throw both of them. And if you run straight at them, they're going to hit you. But if you take a rounded path and you run, then they're going to throw to your left. And that should not hit Ashley if you take a quick path. Okay, so as long as they're not too far to the right, you can run right up to the edge and Ashley will not get abducted. Okay, so jump down, immediately fake this guy out, and then just run through. All right, cabin time. Okay, so this is probably the first thing I do that's significantly different than the speedrun strat. Speedrun strat's very tough, extremely tough, and also not terribly efficient with the grenades. It's fast, but some grenades are only getting like 3 kills. The idea here is we're going to have 4 hand grenades. We're going to use all of them, and ideally we're going to get 9 kills with every single grenade. So for the cabin, you need to get 40 kills, or you need to run the timer out, which is like 5 or 6 minutes, and it takes forever. There's a strat for that. I would not suggest doing that, though. This is going to be way faster and more consistent. And honestly, I really like my strat. I've worked a lot on it. But okay, so what we're going to do is, the idea is we want to have Luis in a certain position and have him consistently in that position every time. Because what we're going to do is we're going to, rather than have Luis shooting the enemies, possibly spawning plagas, doing some other shenanigans, what we're going to do is we're mostly going to be aiming at him and using him as bait. So we want him to get grabbed in certain spots, because when Luis gets grabbed, um, during that whole like struggle thing where he's kicking the enemies off, no other enemies will attack you, but they'll all rush in, putting them in a great spot to grenade. So during the whole grab thing, you're safe from enemy attack, and that gives you the perfect opportunity to get a large group of enemies clumped up, ideally all 9, and grenade them all. And that's what we're going to do several times. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to immediately run over, grab the shotgun ammo. Honestly, it's not the end of the world if you don't grab it, but run immediately over there. Don't grab the red herb behind you, or else Luis is not going to be in a good spot. And we're going to run right over here to this edge of this cabin here, and reload your handgun and wait a bit for Luis to come over. So Luis is going to follow you, and we want him to be right in this spot here. So I like... Oh, shoot. You love to see it, dude. Very professional. Follow me. Okay. All right, so I don't like to be right up against the wall, because it puts Luis a little further forward than I like. So stand sort of right at this edge, and I turn around, and I like to wait a couple seconds when he's run over, because I want to make sure all the enemies are going to be in the cabin when I throw the grenade. So I'm going to let him go towards the window a bit. So I wait a couple seconds here. I run back to this general area. Don't run too far back, and don't run too far towards this, or you could get attacked by one of these guys. But I'm going to open the windows in a very specific order. Okay, so this is the first one I'm going to open. I like to wait until I see this torch guy, so I know the enemies are close here. Make sure when you're opening the windows that you're not shooting the enemies. If you shoot them in the face, they could stagger backwards and then not come in time to be grenaded. So just try to shoot the boards. So shoot like the upper area so you don't hit them. And then, okay, we're going to turn around immediately. As soon as you open a window, Luis is going to give you an item. Throw an item at you for some weird reason. Don't know why. But so we're going to aim at Luis so he ducks and will not be shooting these enemies coming in. Because, once again, we want them all to be in and we want to grenade them. So aim at Luis, and then quickly open this window. And then aim at Luis again to make him duck, so he doesn't shoot those guys. And then quickly open this window, making sure you don't shoot one of these guys. And then aim at Luis again, so he ducks, and then that gives you a sec. You can back up. I find this gives you the best opportunity not to get hit, because this guy can hit you if you get unlucky and you're too close to him. So I back up, and then I aim at him again, and then gives you opportunity to reload if you like. Okay. So the movement and everything is very important here, but it's very consistent. So I just want to emphasize there's a reason I'm doing all this. Because if you do things slightly differently, Luis won't be where you want him, and that throws things off. But this is a very consistent strat. Okay, so if you did things correctly, he should be grabbed here by either this guy or this guy. And during this whole animation, no one's going to attack you. You're good. So equip your grenade, and you want to step back, because we want to immediately run up the stairs. And we want to throw the grenade in a spot where it's going to kill all 9 of these enemies. So look around, make sure you don't have like a guy like just now climbing over the window, which can happen if you're very unlucky. If you do, then you want to throw the grenade more this direction, or someone like right at the window over here, in which case you want to throw this way. But check. Okay, good. We got like all 9 in here. So I'm going to throw the grenade down. And okay, so here, this is a very, very specific strat. So I throw the grenade down like around here. What you don't want is for the grenade to kill any of this group over here, coming out of this window right in front immediately, because that'll spawn the new wave of enemies in that group earlier than we like, as we'll see in a sec. So I throw it down. I throw it down towards this other group here. I'm going to get an insta kill on those guys, but that's okay. As long as I don't get an insta kill on any of the guys coming out of this window, we're good. So that should kill 9. This is honestly, the cabin is where the RE4 counter really shines. It's extremely useful information to know that you've killed everyone with your grenade. So we killed 9. As you throw, immediately be running up the stairs. So what this took me a while to figure out, but what we want to do is we want to manipulate Luis's position throughout the fight. And I found out after a while that when you throw a grenade, Luis obviously will jump. I couldn't figure out what caused where he jumps, like what determines that. Well, it turns out he's just jumping towards you. So what we do is we throw the grenade and we immediately run up the stairs, and then he should jump towards us and be near this railing here. That puts him in the perfect position. Okay, so Luis is going to start shooting an enemy spawning in that window where I said we did not want to kill any of those enemies immediately. So the first enemy that spawns very often is a Plaga. We don't actually want Luis to be killing anyone until the very end, possibly. So as long as you throw the grenade, don't insta-kill any of those guys, and immediately run upstairs, you should have time to grab just this grenade. Only grab this grenade here. Run immediately back and start aiming at Luis before he can kill that enemy, which often sprouts a Plaga. So aiming at Luis will cause him to duck. So it takes 6 shots to kill the guy. As long as he starts shooting after you grab the grenade, you should have enough time to run back and very quickly. See, that was 5 shots there. Interrupt him and cause him to duck. So I aim quickly at the top of the stairs as he's ducking, run down a bit, and okay, this is perfect positioning for Luis. This is where we want him. So the thing is, here, there's going to be a guy coming in here. We want him to grab Luis. So grabs, enemies aggroing to Luis is a little weird, and this took me a while to figure out too. What you want is you want to be close to Luis, somewhat close, so that the enemies don't just ignore him and come right at you, which will happen if you're not close enough to him. But not right in his face, otherwise they can just attack you. So right here, this should be fine. He's going to get grabbed here. But notice almost no other enemies are in the cabin yet. We want to make sure all 9 are in when he's getting grabbed and we grenade everyone. So what we're going to do is we're going to interrupt the grab a couple times, and then that'll give the enemies enough time to come in. So what I do is, okay, I back up a little bit because there's a, in the back corner over here, there's an axe guy that can come in and hit you on the railing if you get unlucky and he spawns early. So I back up a bit. It's safe from here, but he should still be aggroed to Luis.
I owe you one, Leon.
Okay, so we shoot him. I like to shoot him in like the torso so that he doesn't fall down, so that he'll be able to grab Luis again immediately. So he grabs Luis again. We interrupt that. And then depending on how quick this guy is, either him or this guy could grab him. It doesn't really matter either way. And on the third one, equip your hand grenade. Run over, this is important, into the corner, because that's where we want Luis to jump. Turn around, make sure all the enemies are nearby, or if like there's an enemy out a window or something, then you want to throw the grenade towards that window. Okay, everyone's in here. Throw it down, and then you can reload during the explosion. Okay, so Luis should jump towards you. That's going to put him near the corner. So what we want to do here is we want to push Luis into the spot we want to have him. So we go up against the wall. If he jumps into the corner, he should be like right up against the wall, and you should be able to just push him without going through him too much. So push him into this back wall here, and then push him towards the stairs. That should move him back this way a bit. And make sure he's not shooting guys during this. He can shoot a couple, but you know, just you don't want him to kill anyone. And then, so turn around, we should go past him, and he should be right about here. That is perfect. What this is going to do is this is going to cause enemies to, so this grenade's a little tricky, but it'll cause enemies to kind of not be able to get past him and come towards you. So they'll sort of be forced to go right by him, and they'll be aggro to him. So point at him, don't let him shoot. This first guy that comes in should grab him. See, notice I was a little far back here, and this guy wanted to come towards me, but since he came so close to Luis, he had no choice but to grab him. Because he's a fucking idiot, and that's what his AI does. But anyways, so there are different things that could happen here. If there's a large group of enemies here, what I would do is I would... so I want to interrupt this grab. I would do it with a shotgun so that you knock back a bunch of enemies, but shoot them in the legs so that you're not getting any kills. Because you don't want to get kills here until you throw the grenade. But there's not a big group of enemies here. But that is perfect. He kind of turns around and starts grabbing him so that it pushes Luis back towards the stairs, which is beautiful. And since he did that, everyone is going to grab him and not be able to get past him. Okay, so like 3 grabs, that's usually good enough for basically everyone to come in. Sometimes you'll miss one guy with a grenade. That's okay. Not the end of the world, but ideally we want to get the 9 kills. Okay, so I shoot with the shotgun. Okay, I made a little mistake here, as we'll see. I wanted to knock the entire group down, or at least this guy here, the axe thrower. Axe throwers are like the worst in here. And I just barely miss getting a hit here when I throw the grenade. Very unlucky. Actually very lucky, but be careful of those axe throwers when you throw grenades, because they can throw them during the animation. But okay, so we do that. He'll either jump up the stairs towards you, roll up the stairs, or just stand there, depending on... But now's when you go and grab these 2, or all the remaining items up here. Okay, so we got 27 kills now. So we got 9 with the first grenade, 9 with the second, and we got all 9 with the third. Sometimes if you get 26, Luis will be shooting him. Whatever, that's fine. Not a big deal, let him do it. Okay. So now we're coming up on the final grenade. So we want to go stand near Luis. You don't want to be standing too far up the stairs or they'll just come right at you. And basically we're just gonna interrupt the grabs until everyone comes in. Be mindful, sometimes you'll get an axe thrower around here, and if you interrupt a grab, he can throw his axe immediately, so sometimes you want to shoot the axe thrower in the body, in the face, or something before interrupting the grab, just to be safe. Okay, so I don't like how some guys are getting past him, so I shotgun the group down, and I'm like, okay, so that gives me about enough time, and now I'm just going to throw the grenade in. Ideally, you should get the 9 kills, which I do here. And then boom, we're almost done. 4 grenades, 9 kills each. All we got to do is get 4 more kills, so we just finish the 4 guys off with a shotgun. And it's a very nice, consistent strat. One thing to be careful of is these guys especially, these torch guys. So I think almost all of them can have plagas. If they're in the middle of an attack animation and you decapitate them and they have a plaga, they will continue the attack and will hit you while they spawn a plaga, which is just the worst thing ever. So be careful, either bait out an attack and then shoot them in the head, or don't shoot them in the head while they're attacking. In fact, just don't shoot them in the head while they're attacking, because even if you don't shoot them in the head, if you've done enough damage and then they sprout a plaga, you're going to continue to hit you. Also, be careful, this is very scary. But yeah, I got 40 kills and I decided to reload. What I should have done is I should have turned around and reloaded, because this guy almost hits me. But yeah, a couple close calls, but it's a very consistent strat. All right, that was... Holy crap, I spent a lot of time on that. It's a very precise strat. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but it's a very consistent strat. And I really like it, and I would definitely suggest using that. Okay. Thankfully, not a whole bunch going on in this chapter. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I completely forgot. Okay, so I want to grab the 2 herbs here.
Wait.
The red and the yellow. So we're going to combine them and sell them for 10k.
Follow me.
Hopefully trimming. Dude, I don't think we're going to be trimming. Like, do you not hear me? I'm constantly talking. Like, what am I going to trim? All right. So we got the second El Gigante. We're going to ignore him. We're going to turn around. There's a very consistent way to go through here. So if you position yourself correctly, sort of in the middle, and then knife at the level where you aim and then knife immediately where it starts. If you do it correctly, you should hit these top 2, and then you should be able to get through in a couple slashes. So we're going to run forward. We're going to tell Ashley to wait just a little past the gate, and then that will bait El Gigante to attack the gate, slowing him down significantly. We're going to run into this first shack and grab all the items. It's got TMP ammo, which is nice. It's got a Spinel, which is nice. And it's got an incendiary, which we need.
Follow me.
So then, as soon as you hear El Gigante attack, tell Ashley to follow, or else she's going to get hit by the slam. So we run in, we grab that key. And then you should have plenty of time now to exit. Even if you don't get the 2/slash doors, you should still have plenty of time. Easy peasy. All right. Not a whole bunch going on here. You should have plenty of handgun ammo at this point. And we're about to sell the handgun anyways. So as long as you got enough to kill the guys on the lift, you should be good. Okay, so we're just skipping Ashley, fist pumping a bit here. I'm sort of moving my items around a bit. Not sure what happened. Maybe I reloaded a different save or something, but I think I had to items around again. Shoot the guys. Ashley will pump her fists. Cure 1 redeeming quality. Alright. So equip your incendiaries. Alright, so there is a flash in a locker in here, which you can grab if you like. It would not be a bad idea, actually. There's one spot in the next chapter where I don't use a flash, but it's often a good idea too. So if you feel like you want to be safe, then I would go ahead and jump over this window, go grab the flash, and then as Ashley opens the door, tell her to wait, and she'll hold the door. I take it back, she has 2 redeeming qualities. She can also hold doors open. But we skip it here. Okay, not much going on. I grabbed this TMP ammo, just for safety. But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna come up on Mendez. Okay, so on 60 FPS, incendiaries do more damage to Mendez. Incendiaries absolutely wreck his shit, but on 60 FPS, it takes 1 fewer, which is nice. So it should only take 4 incendiaries. We got 3. We're gonna grab another one. We're in there. So go in, skip the cutscene, and immediately when the fight starts, throw an incendiary to the left a bit so that you can run by without running into the incendiary. And be careful. Sometimes incendiaries are weird. Sometimes you can run sort of through an incendiary and you don't visibly stagger, which is bad. If you stagger, you've been hit. That's damage. That's rip run. But sometimes you can run through and still take chip damage. It's very strange. So be careful where you throw it. But that gives you enough room to go to the side and grab this. And then quick turn a couple times. Don't throw it too quickly, or else he'll have iframes and that won't hit. But this should gets you to second phase. Right where you are, immediately throw an incendiary. That'll knock him down. And then back up a bit. And then aim for like right here so that he'll be hit with the incendiary. And also with this explosion. And then that'll finish him off. So wait till he jumps down. Boom. That's the fight. So I go up this ladder. Okay, so I get a red, green, and a yellow herb here for 10,000. Honestly, it's probably faster to get the item in 2-1 that we skipped. But it is what it is. I'm coming up here anyways to get a hand grenade anyways. But yeah. Okay, so Spinel here. Make sure to grab the money. And that's pretty much the chapter. We're exiting. Make sure not to try to shoot the guy too early here. Otherwise, the guys will run down and then you gotta deal with them. Yeah, if we wait a sec, we get like 5,500? I forget how much. Yeah. And then now it's time for 3-1. Cool. Alright. So. I actually noticed it's 3-1 better. I actually re-recorded 3-1 because I wasn't happy with my water room. Like at all. Yeah, we'll see. Or my Garrador. We'll see that when we get to it. Okay, so we're gonna sell stuff. We're gonna completely change our inventory here. Okay, so I'm moving the grenades over to make room for the semi-auto rifle, as we'll see. And then, not a big deal, but I like to put my ammo down along here below the shotgun in this manner and leave a space here for a grenade. Just that I'm picky, but
Welcome.
makes the inventory a lot nicer.
Got some.
So I upgrade to the... Okay, you want to sell your handgun ammo, your handgun, any mixed herbs you have, spinels, and then the gold bangle with pearls, or the ring, I think? I think it's the ring that you can shoot down in 2-1 if you do that. But we're going to buy the medium case. In my run on YouTube, I buy the large case. Turns out I very extremely did not need the large case. Just get the medium case. Plenty of room in there. And then the semi-auto rifle, which conveniently fits right there. And then the TMP. And then we're good to go.
Any time. Follow me.
It does not, Renz. It does not. That's environmental damage. Alright. So the catapult area, we're going to grab this rifle ammo. You want to kill this catapult guy here because he is by far the most irritating. So we equip the semi-auto. You want to take a step or two ahead of the crate where you grab the rifle ammo, and he should be a pretty easy shot. And then equip a grenade. Make sure we got the fast running speed here. And skip the cutscene immediately and take a tight path here. So if you have low equip load, or if you have like the two-handed weapon, and you run through there a little slower, Ashley could actually get hit. Or if you don't take a very tight path, so you need to be careful. Sometimes you'll stun, but as long as you have the grenade, you should not be hit. Alright, so try not to get stunned by that, see where it's going to land. And then immediately run for it, and I tell Ashley to wait here at the bottom of the stairs while I crank. Thankfully, we killed this guy. So he won't be shooting at us while we do this. The only problem is the scythe guy over here, but we leave Ashley there, and he grabs Ashley rather than messes us. You want to make sure to leave her at the bottom of the stairs and not too close to you, otherwise the scythe guy will still come to you.
Follow me.
If you're worried about money, there's in that little shack quite a bit, but
Wait,
you're needing it. Okay, so tell Ashley to wait at the bottom of the stairs. Immediately run up, grab the money, grab the sword, and this group of enemies will rush at you. Um, so this guy sometimes, if he's really quick, could be like right here. But as long as you turn around very quickly, I would suggest doing the aim turns a couple times. It's a little faster than doing the 180. And run to the right around him. He should miss. Worst case scenario, you got to fake him out. But you want to run out and then run back in. That makes life a lot easier. Because if you hang out upstairs for too long, a really nasty group of enemies down here is going to spawn. Um, and if you run immediately over here to grab the thing, you're going to have to deal with these guys on the stairs, and that's kind of annoying too. But if you run out, run in, everyone gets reset. And honestly, it's faster. Let's grab the sword, replace it with the golden sword, replace it with the silver sword. Okay, so this next area, a couple important things to note. It's a very consistent area as long as you abide by a couple rules. So you want to run in. You want to open the door not too far to the left, just sort of in the middle or towards the right. And then look at this guy here. Run forward. You want to tell Ashley to wait to hold the door open for you, but you don't want these guys coming out here to aggro to her and then grab her and run out. So as long as you wait, you look at this guy, see when he starts running. As soon as he starts running, tell Ashley to wait. He'll start running a little late if you run towards the left end. If you run over here, you should be good.
Wait.
There we go. And then run right over to this. So this archer is a pain in the ass here. And can hit you if you get out this little area here. So you want to fake out both these guys at the same time, and then sort of run to the right so you can't get shot by the archer, and immediately through the door. And then run quickly over. Oops. Grab the key, and then wait until you see everyone close enough in to being into the room to where they're going to be hit by this explosion. Because you want to kill everyone. Okay, so if you told Ashley to wait back there, this group should be around here, and you should easily be able to headshot someone and then kick and run past. If you run to the right, even if you can get around this group of enemies without getting hit by them, sometimes that archer can shoot you really quick, which is kind of a pain. So, yeah. Also, another thing to note with the TMP is headshots. You have to aim up like 10 miles to get a headshot with the TMP. So be mindful of that. Way more than with the handgun. Okay, so we're going to fight the Garrador. I'm doing a speed strat here, which you absolutely don't have to do. And in fact, I don't think I did.
Wait.
I don't remember, but if you want to do the speed strat, you run over, you grab the key, and you sort of hug the wall, and you tell Ashley to wait right, so that she's like right at the corner. And what we're going to do is we're going to use her as bait.
Wait.
After we kill the Garrador to run past the other guys. But honestly, you don't have to do that. You can just kill them with rifle. Okay, so we're gonna kill the Garrador, so equip your semi-auto rifle. Grab that incendiary. So this is a speedier strat. There are safer strats which you can use, but this is very quick and consistent with practice. What we want to do is we want to hit his plaga 4 times with a rifle, and his body once, and then that will kill him. So if the trick we're going to use is we're going to aim, shoot, and then immediately stop aiming, and then aim again, and you'll be able to shoot quicker that way than just staying aimed and shooting. Quite a bit faster. Okay, so I take a sec to line myself up. I want to start shooting as soon as he comes out. And I want to be aimed to his left. when I hit the Plaga as he first comes out, because he's going to stagger in a way that if I'm aimed to the left, if I just stop aiming, re-aim immediately, I don't need to move at all. I could just fire immediately and I'll hit the Plaga. If you're not aimed that way, then you'll hit the body, which is okay. You can hit the Plaga later. But this is a little easier. I kind of took forever here. But, so you notice I hit to the left there, fire again, and then aim a bit up and to the right to hit the Plaga. And you want to immediately run behind him, but not too far. Because you want to quickly turn to the right, do a couple quick aims to the right to turn, and then hit the Plaga, and then now a body shot will do it. So if you got the body shot before, you need to hit the Plaga with this shot, or you need to hit the body twice, which honestly is not the end. But let's reload, grab the pesetas. And I equip a grenade just for faster running through here, but it's not necessary. We're going to use the rifle in a sec anyway. Okay, so the trick, which you don't need to do, be mindful, but this is a speed trick. Trick is, what we want to do is, as soon as we see this flail guy here sort of peek out here, it usually happens like around this point. And when we're running, we want to tell Ashley to follow and then wait immediately. And what that'll do is this flail guy and then this runner over here will, instead of coming out to you, they will start walking towards Ashley. They'll both be aggro to Ashley. And since they're aggro to Ashley, whenever you run by them, they will grab the flail guy instead of hitting you with the flail.
Wait.
So you can safely just run by. And then as long as you're quick, you could just tell Ashley to follow you. But yeah, once again, you don't have to do that. But that's just a little bit of spicy speed strats I like to throw. Okay. All right, so Waterhall. One of the bigger reset points until you learn this strat. But this is a really nice consistent strat I like to use. Okay, I effed up here. I accidentally equipped the TMP instead of the rifle, which is why I reset, which you're not allowed to do on a run, but... And I was a little late, so I was like, oh shit, hang on, let me reset. Move past it, ignore it. Alright, you should have the rifle equipped here. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to kill these two archers and these two shield guys down here, and no one else. If you kill 5 guys, you're going to have another wave of enemies come in, which include 2 shield guys, and honestly, fuck the shield guys. This whole strat is built around not dealing with the shield guys. So, kill the 2 archers and the 2 shield guys. You can exit and re-enter if you need to kill one of the enemies, but... and there's a little trick I do here. I take a half step back. Let me see if we can see it. I take a half step back immediately. Watch. I guess you can't see it. Well, so what I do is I take a half step back immediately, and so if you start shooting immediately where you spawn in the water room, the archers will aggro to you and will start shooting. And so you need to be very quick. And sometimes you can get unlucky and get hit. But if you take a half step back, the archers will never aggro to you. They'll never start shooting. It's a very convenient little trick which saves you some time. Oh, yeah, I forgot to take the half step back, so that's why I said. Okay, so... See, that archer would have shot me like 100% of it, half step back. So I exit, I re-enter. Plenty of time here. So I stay put. I stay put until these guys start running. I want to grab this incendiary here, so I shoot that because I got the time. And I reload just because. So I run forward. You want to be right around this area. You want to floor him when he's around here. But if he comes closer, he's going to stop running, and you'll usually have to shoot him a couple times, and that'll have... You want to floor him, run past, grab this incendiary, and you want to have... there's a guy down here which you want to aggro, and then an enemy here. So what we do is we tell Ashley to follow wait several times, and then shoot this guy down. If you did it correctly, this guy should usually be running up the stairs, which is good. So he won't grab you as you run past down here. Sometimes he'll be walking, but if you aggroed him early enough, he still should not be able to grab you. And we're going to run immediately into the pressure plate room as quickly as possible. Turn around, leave Ashley on there. So one thing to note with the pressure plates, if you do quick turns on the pressure plates and then tell Ashley to wait, she's often going to be in a weird position. I found the most consistent thing to do is to step on the pressure plate, do a 180, and then Ashley will always be on the pressure plate when you tell her to wait. The worst thing in the world is running in there, quick turning, and Ashley's not standing on the pressure plate when you go stand on the other one, and then that just screws up the entire water room. But yeah. Okay, so if you did everything quickly, I think I actually get rather unlucky here. There should either be 0 enemies or 1 enemy, or sometimes an enemy like running out. So floor, or just not even necessarily floor. It's probably best to floor. Shoot the guys out of your way. Okay, so we're gonna go through here. We get unlucky because this red zealot's in a bad position. That's rather unusual, but usually this white zealot's going to be around the door, and so he's either going to be stunned by the door opening, or he'll be like right behind it. So be prepared to shoot him as soon as you open the door. Also be mindful if he's kneeling. If you try to shoot him, you're going to suplex him, which is really bad. So take a step back and then shoot him if he's kneeling. Yeah, we floor him, and then honestly, that was a little scary. What I should have done is just thrown a flash here, which is why I mentioned the flash previously after I floored him. And then you need to be careful because there's a shield guy off to the left here, where the red zealot is. And if you're slow, he can hit you if you try to grab the grenade. So honestly, if you see the shield guy, and it looks like it might be iffy to grab this hand grenade, just come back in the water room later to grab it. It wastes like 40 seconds, but I mean, once again, not as speed. But if I have the opportunity, I like to grab it. Okay, so if you didn't throw the flash, you'll need to floor this guy quickly. And then look to the left around the corner, because usually there's a guy like right there. There wasn't this time, but be prepared to shoot him. And then you can just shoot guys and run right past. So there's a little bit of randomness with this strat on how many guys you'll have to deal with running out of the pressure plate room. But if you practice it a few times, you'll see some consistent patterns, and they can all be dealt with pretty easily. It's a pretty consistent strat. So we're going to run out and we're going to come back in. And that's going to reset these after we raise the crank. That's going to reset these guys here. And then we'll have some enemies down here, which we ideally do not want to mess with. But so I tell Ashley to wait and aggro these guys, and then reload as they're coming. So I want to pull them back so that they'll be back here, and I can run around and have Ashley crank. And I can keep them from crowding the area and grabbing Ashley as long as I pull them back far enough as she cranks and stairs come down. So what I do is I wait until they're back here. Sometimes I'll aggro a guy or bait out an attack. Be very careful, because this on 60 FPS, this fucking thing reaches like 10 miles. You have to be very careful. But make sure you've got quick running speed. Run straight to the crank. And then you want to either bait out attacks from this group of enemies back here, so that they don't come forward. Or if there's a grabber, those guys can be problems, because they can rush you and get close. You might want to knife and kick. I would not use a a gun to shoot them in the face, because there are enemies down here which can aggro and come up and either hit or grab Ashley, which is very, very, very bad. Including a shield guy, which will not be stunned by the flash we're about to use. So, okay, there's a runner over here. I just kick him immediately and then sort of just bait out attacks from the rest of the guys, or not. Okay, so the stairs are about to come down. Okay, so here's... On 30 FPS, Ashley cranks up about half as fast, strangely. Real great coding there. So on 60 FPS, the stairs are going to come down way earlier. I don't think this would work well on 30 FPS, so just keep that in mind. But okay, the stairs are about to come down. What I want to do is, when this scythe enemy, group of scythe enemies comes down, what I want to do is I want to run to the right here of Ashley and throw a flash down here. We want to wait just a second. So ideally that will stun this entire group of black zealots, black-clad zealots here, and this entire group back here, if you throw the flash down here. Leaving just the red zealot unstunned. I believe that actually happens here. That's the ideal. That gives us the most time to work in this area. So you want to run forward and wait a sec so this guy can come down the stairs and get flashed. And you want to throw down in this area, and you want to run forward and do that because flashes are weird. When you throw them on the ground, objects, even tiny things like this, can sort of block enemies from getting flashed that you wouldn't expect. So I'm going to throw it around here. That's going to reach this entire group over here, and then this group back here. And then we're going to run past there if you think it's safe. If not, then just shoot them. Okay, so we're going to come up to the cutscene. Normally, this is where we would save and quit, but that's not allowed in this run. So what we're going to do is we're going to run to the left. And the one benefit of not save quitting there and despawning those enemies is there are only 2 enemies up top which can potentially abduct Ashley. Only 2 enemies we have to deal with. Because there are a whole bunch of enemies down here, not that many spawn up there. So ideally, this whole group over here has been flashed.
Watch out for me.
And since it's 60 FPS, another difference, the flashes last twice as long. Another fantastic 60 FPS benefit. So around a minute, plus or minus some time for ramp. Okay, so we want to floor this guy, make sure he doesn't throw at you. And any guys coming up the stairs, you also want to floor. Okay, so this is one guy that can grab her. This should buy us enough time to safely headshot him. The way I used to do is I would run immediately over here and then shoot him later, but that's not as safe. I wouldn't do. I would do what I'm doing here. Okay, so we want to run into this room over here, but not too quickly. So I'm going to let this sort of give the enemies time to clump up, because I'm going to let them open the door, and then I'm going to shotgun them. And I want to have the entire group here so that I don't knock some guys back, but then other guys run forward and then immediately open the door. So I want to let everyone come over. And I also want them to open the door at a good time, not too early. So I like to not enter the room until the cutscene of Ashley cranking the first thing starts. So I'll sort of bait out some attacks and then run in. This is a little earlier than I like. And then that should get... So as long as you stand close to the door, if you're not too far away from the door, enemies will bang on the door before they open it. If you're standing too far away, they'll just immediately enter, which is not good. That's not what you want. But I'm going to equip the shotgun, stand back a bit. See, okay, that cutscene, ideally, I would be just entering the room as that cutscene happens. But you know, it still works out here. So we're gonna let them open the door. Carnata, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We're gonna let them open the door, and then we are going to shotgun the whole group back which buys us a lot of time to deal with the other zealot, which could possibly abduct Ashley. So what I like to do is I like to wait a second. I don't do it here because of the weird timing with the cutscene. I came in a shot immediately, but I like to wait a sec, make sure I'm getting this entire front group. Shoot them sort of like in the midsection. Make sure you're not getting headshots, because they could block the door. But you want to knock everyone back so that staggers everyone back here who did not get shot, and it closes the door and buys you time to deal with this guy. So there's going to be a runner spawning over here. I'm sort of looking to wait for him to spawn. The timing's a little tight here because I screwed up. But all you need to do is shoot that runner so that he stops running. Don't need to headshot him, just need to body shot him. And usually if you came in here right as the cutscene was happening, there's a lot more time for you to shoot him. It's a little tight there, but... Okay, so now that he's dealt with, I'm going to deal with this entire group of zealots standing outside the door. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him open the door again, and then I'm going to grenade the group. But I don't want the door to close after I shoot them, because then I have to open the door and then grenade them. And if I open the door and then throw the grenade, that's enough time to have a scythe thrown at me, kind of thing. So what I want to do is I want to run right up to the door, so that when they open it, I will be now standing in the doorway, holding the door. Okay, so if you see everyone get knocked back that could potentially hit you, go ahead and grenade the group. And that should take care of everyone minus a red zealot or two. And then sometimes another guy who was previously aggro to Ashley will run around, so be mindful of that. But that's pretty much it. So I have an extra incendiary. I only want to have one going in the next chapter. So you could just floor the red zealot, take care of him there. There's a lot of money down here from those red zealots and from the other guys. Grab as much of it as you can. In my previous run, I was short later on money because I actually didn't kill these guys. It was kind of a mess. So when I redid it, this gives me plenty of money now. So just take care of him. You don't even have to kill him if you don't want, but... So then, now, you just gotta wait until Ashley's done cranking. You could continually floor whoever's over there if you don't kill him, but... Yeah, now we just wait. So if there is a guy still alive, you want to make sure to floor them before you catch Ashley, like right before, because Ashley takes forever to jump over here, these things, and even if she jumps over the first one, and before someone grabs her, the enemies jump over a lot faster than she does, and so they can come over and get near her, and of course, Ashley being Ashley, just ducks because she has no fucking survival instinct instead of running. So sometimes you have to deal with that. But yeah, that's the water hole. It's a really nice consistent strat, and very ammo efficient too, which I really like. Okay, let's you know what to do. You know what to do, mods. Okay, so I come over and grab this grenade and start the next chapter. Holy moly, we're already on an hour and a half. Okay, so I do sort of I do this a little differently than I did in my run on YouTube. This is a lot faster, and honestly, probably more consistent. So we grab this flash here. It is possible to pretty consistently run past these first 3 Novis. We got the rifle though. I wouldn't suggest it on a no save no damage run. Not worth the headache. So what I do is I rifle these 3 guys, Shoot them in the face. You can sort of see where they're breathing. Shoot them in the face with a rifle. That should insta-kill. And then equip a flash grenade. Okay, so a bit of weirdness. I only had one incendiary after the 3-1, which I re-recorded. But on the previous one, I had an extra incendiary. For the thing I'm going to do later, which you don't actually have to do, but you only want to have one incendiary for what we're about to do. Also, I have significantly less money, which will be an issue later. But okay, so you want to immediately run over to this wall, hug the wall, and then run right up to the corner and quick turn at the corner. That is important. Your movement through here is very important. Otherwise, this guy could grab you here. But as long as you hug the wall, run right up to the corner, quick turn, and then run along this wall, he's always going to jump down on the other side of you, and you'll be safe to run. So run immediately to the valve room. And generally, this other guy, which spawns over here and is following you, sometimes he can follow you and will open the door. And that's looks scary, but it's actually nice. Because we call that the gentleman Novi. The gentleman Novistador. Because he holds the door open for you. He won't attack you as you run. But sometimes he's like runs right back here. And sometimes I just listen to make sure that he's and look to make sure that he's not like right here as we run out here. Because he can start attacking you if it's like right over here. But generally he's not going to be. So we're going to run out. There's a Novi which comes down here. And then there's a Novi over on this, on this side. So a Novi up here, a Novi on this side, and then a Novi possibly further back. So what I'm going to do is, sometimes, depending on where you throw this flash, what we're going to do is we're going to stun these guys with a flash. Sometimes, depending on where you throw it, if you run immediately forward and throw it, this guy behind you won't be stunned. So what I like to do is I like to bait out an attack and then throw it, so that I know at least if the flash doesn't stun the guy behind me, at least I know I'm not going to get immediately attacked while I'm throwing it. So I throw it down around the doorway, and then that will always stun this guy, hopefully the guy behind you, and then hopefully the guy over here. And it did. If it doesn't stun this guy here, either run by him, if he does any attack other than the one that gives you the kick prompt, or kick him if you get the kick prompt. You'll always be safe doing that. That movement and everything is completely consistent if you do that. Okay. Time for some Sin's Fortress shenanigans. As long as you have a grenade equipped, if you are running by just as this first one swings, you're safe to run immediately through, and you won't be hit by these last ones. If you have like a TMP equipped or something with 2 hands, you're not going to be fast enough to make it. But if you want to just be safe, just wait before the last 2 swing to run through. Okay, so I equip hand grenade, which I'm going to use in the next area. So jump down, just run right through. These guys pose no threat. All right, so faster and slower ways of doing this. I opt to use the incendiary trick, which some would argue is a glitch, and I would say you're wrong. Because you're just burning a dude during a cutscene. But I'm biased because I actually discovered this, so I kind of felt like I had to use it. But it's much more difficult to do in 60 FPS. And it's not necessary, but I like to use it. Because once again, I discovered I Anyway, so we want to take care of these guys up here. So what I do is I run in and I immediately go up against this barrier here. You want to be running straight forward and you want to be touching this barrier. Otherwise, these guys can shoot you around occasionally. But as long as you run all the way forward, they're not going to hit you. Aim up, take care of this group with a grenade. Then we're going to run off to the left. Be careful, because this guy can be like right in your face. So if he is, you know, shoot him to stun him, and then either this guy will be aggroed whenever you shoot him, or if he's not, you want to shoot him to aggro him. And then go back to this corner over here. One thing to be careful of, he's going to run towards you. Make sure you don't shoot him in the torso as he's running towards you, because he'll do an extremely long stagger backwards, where he has like iframes during that entire stagger. And so this explosion won't kill him sometimes if you do that. So sort of shoot him in the legs, wait till he's like around the stairs, and kill him both. This is not necessary if you're really quick, but these guys are a pain to deal with if you're not quick in the next section and you screw up the incendiary trick. Okay. So this guy can be, if you have light equip load, you can safely run to the right of this guy. But you could just shoot him in the legs if you're... Okay. So this is optional, but I felt like I had to do it. So here's how this works. What you want to do is, I'll link to a video explaining how this works better than I. But you want to run right into the corner. You only can have one incendiary, otherwise it's going to take too long. So turn to the left, get right up in the corner, and then quick turn to the right. And then what we want to do is we want to use this pillar here. We want to line up the wall here with this pillar. We want to have the left-right camera aimed like that. And then we want to have the bottom of Leon's hair here at about the level of this thing here. Like that. Maybe a little higher is fine. You want to throw the incendiary and immediately jump down. If you have more than one incendiary, you won't be able to do this stuff. So don't skip the cutscene. He should, if you threw it correctly, he should burn. If you don't see the burning, if you just see him running through, then just skip it and then shoot him. But instead of running all the way over there to a very inconvenient spot, he'll be just right here on the ground. And so just shoot him in the head until it explodes, and then, yeah, that's it. I actually discovered that like 12 years ago or so. And we actually thought it wasn't doable on 60 FPS until someone figured out how to do it consistently. So yeah, it's very free on 30 FPS. But 60's much more tight. And sometimes you'll miss it. Not the end of the world. You just got to shoot them across the gallery. Okay. So we're coming into this next section. I like to just peek around this pillar because this guy can throw at you, and just shoot him to stun, and then run right past this guy. Watch out! Sometimes he'll like step to the side and can get in your way and grab you. But as long as you run past him, he doesn't have to grab you in time. Okay, so there's going to be a guy over here. Depending on the RNG, he'll either be running, which is good, or he'll just be kind of walking slowly towards you. But we need to hit the switch. If he's running, you can run around him and right to the other switch room. If he's walking, you're going to have to run at him and then shoot him, and then run past. But skip the cutscene. If you do that movement, you shouldn't get enough guys killed with that with the rocket that the archers will spawn, because the archers are a pain in the ass. But go in here, immediately shoot this. I get awful luck here. Awful luck. That's very unusual to have a guy right behind me follow me in. But since that happened, what I want to do is, honestly, I could have just thrown a flash right here and just dealt with them. Like, I let them get up, and then I flashed the entire group in. here. What I like to do, either way, whether the door gets opened or not, is to run over to this left wall and wait for the door to get open. What you don't want to do is you don't want to go too close to this door because these rocket guys will shoot. And you also don't want to open the door. Well, opening the door requires you to get close enough for them to shoot. That's not good. You want the group of enemies to open the door, but you don't want to get a scythe to the face immediately as the door opens. So I come over to the side and I stand sort of here at a medium distance. And enemies coming in or opening the door will not be able to like have a direct line of sight at you to where they can hit you with a scythe. And so as the door opens, I just aim up a bit and throw a flash. Not up too high, but that'll flash these guys and then hopefully everyone out here. Sometimes it'll miss a guy, but it's not the end. See, it misses this one guy over here. Once again, it's... And I'm not sure if this is placebo, but I like to look left here at this wall where the first rocket group, the like fake wall. So sometimes they can rocket. I'm not sure what triggers that, but I found that if I'm like looking left at that thing, that it tends not to happen. I don't know, but yeah, grab the thing and okay. If you're worried about money, you have 2 Velvet Blues and a Spinel there. Should be worth 7,000 each. And then this barrel here, grab the Incendiary. So we want to make sure we have 2 Incendiaries or 3-4 for freeing Ashley. And you can get that one and then this one right here. I do a spicy little speed trick here. So there's an Incendiary in this room, which normally we would grab next chapter if you need it. But what you can do is you can knife the vase through the wall, and then before the next chapter starts, you can grab it right before the cutscene instead of having to run for it to get it. It's completely unnecessary, but it's just a little swag strat. Yeah, okay, so all right, the dogs. So I mentioned it before, but these enemies, if you're looking at them and running directly at them, or if you're just looking at you, they can pounce at you, and you're fucked. That's rip run. But as long as your camera, as long as you cannot see their face, so if you look up or away or something, you can run right by them, and the only attack they can do is when they spawn the tentacles, they can attack you with that. But if you keep running, that's too slow to hit you. So that first guy, if you just run, he's never going to grab you. But we'll see that I do that later. So I run off to the right. I would suggest doing this first because only this first guy is gonna spawn if you get this piece first. And honestly, it's much faster anyways, much more direct. And then we're gonna go off to the left. Now we got this group and some other guys. So they should all be behind you right now. I do a quick turn here because it's a little faster and then look up. But if you're not comfy with that, you could just take a longer path around this way. But make sure you look up, and they're never going to be able to get you. Be careful because sometimes a really late guy could be like right here. So you might need to like look away longer. But yeah. Just go straight for the exit. And if you want to do this little swag move and grab this Incendiary before next chapter, you basically just do a quick turn immediately before moving forward, and then grab it, and then trigger the cutscene. All right. So if you didn't grab it, go get it, because we need it. But not a ton going on. Shortest chapter in the game. So we're just gonna, whoops. Just gonna shoot this. And okay, so we want to grab this flash here, but there's an invisible line which is a lot closer than you might think, which triggers the cage to come down and all the enemies to come in, and will teleport you into the cage. So you want to be almost hugging this wall. I would reload here after you shoot that. Almost hugging the wall when you grab it. So you notice I'm like barely moving forward. Okay, so you want to the movement in here is a little is somewhat important, and I actually kind of do a bad job here. But you want to go immediately grab this, which we're going to sell later, and then run a bit towards the door. But what you don't want is, so you want to be able to shoot this lock off and then hit him right after to hit his legs to floor him and then kick the door and run by. What you don't want is to run far enough forward that he attacks, because he'll attack and then he'll sort of back up a bit and then he'll be too far to the right here to be able to shoot him after we shoot this. And he'll attack you as you open the door, because unlike normal doors, these gates that you just kick down give you almost zero iframes during the opening animation. I think they give you like just a few, but like you're gonna get it. So I shot honestly too many times there, and it was a little close with the archer, but with some practice. Got that. Okay, so we're gonna jump down here. These three guys, so you wanna, this guy can either run to the left or around this way. You wanna floor him, and you wanna be quick here. Because this guy right here, if you're quick enough, before he notices you, any shot to the legs will floor him, like that. Otherwise, sometimes you gotta shoot him a few times to get him down, and this guy might get up. If you're quick, you can knock him down. It's not that difficult. And then you don't have to grab this, but I grabbed this rifle ammo here. You want to be a little quick because there are two grabbers here. So in this area, okay, so there are two shield guys here, and they're a little random. So sometimes they'll immediately open this door and come out, and then you can knock this down and hit them. Sometimes they take forever. So you want to hang out back here, because this group of grabbers behind you, what you don't want to happen is to be stuck waiting for them to open the door and then get grabbed. So I hang out back here, and then I'm able to run forward and bait on attack and have a miss if they just take too long. But yeah, when they come through, hit him with the lantern. If one of the guys does not get hit with the lantern, just bait on attack and run past him. It's pretty easy. And that's the chapter. And that's the Wang Pale for Luis. Okay. Hey! What's up, Craig? Okay. So for this, just free Ashley. If you do this this movement perfectly, aim everything up, aim everything just right, you can actually knock off two of the don't do that. You can knock off two of the restraints at the same time. But that, not a speedrun, so it doesn't matter. But I do it here, just like a brag. So immediately, so we're gonna immediately where you're standing after the cutscene, aim to the left and down. Kill this guy first, he's gonna run. Then kill this guy, turn around, kill this guy. And then I go over here, I get this rifle ammo, and then I reload. And then what we're going to do is a red zealot's going to come in here, and some other enemies are going to come in as well. So we want to kill this red zealot quickly, because him being alive is what causes more enemies to come in later to try to grab Ashley. So if you kill him early enough, no more guys will spawn, which is good. But also there are going to be a couple archers which we want to take care of. So there are a couple ways to do this. You could do this with a couple incendiaries and a shot, which I like to do because I don't think I did on my run too, but I like to do that because I like to have a hand grenade for later. And we got the couple incendiaries in it anyways, and we don't really need them. But what you can do is immediately when he comes in, shoot him in the legs with a rifle, and then aim down and to the right a bit, and wait just a sec and then throw a grenade and then I'll take care of everyone. But I like to save that grenade for later. So anyways, wait till this cutscene, and then immediately, what you want to do is you want to be back up against this back wall here, because if you're too close, when you throw, you're gonna hit the wall. It's gonna ricochet off, and it's gonna kill Ashley. And that. So just aim straight ahead, and as soon as this cutscene happens, throw. And wait 3 seconds or so. Oh, someone followed me. Thank you, Mr. NTFML, for following me offline while I was recording this. So the easiest way, honestly, though, is to listen for when these archers come in. You'll hear the door open, and immediately as soon as you hear that, throw the second one. And that's going to kill the red zealot. And if you waited until that point to throw, that'll catch the 2 archers in the incendiary, which won't kill them, but then you go ahead and shoot them once, and then that'll kill them. Make sure you kill them both. So I go over here and I grab the rifle ammo and flash. And if you're quick enough, there's 5,000 behind this painting. And I'm literally like a frame late on crowding it. It's very irritating. You hate to see it, but it's honestly not super necessary. I'm good. I'm good, Dr. Craig. I'm mostly ignoring chat. Mostly. Okay, so only thing to note really here is you don't want to aggro this guy. So take a tight corner or around that shelf there and run straight to this first crank. We don't need to fully open. We don't need to fully raise this or fully bring that to the side. Have it about even with here, and that's as much as you need. This one, if you get really bad luck, which I kind of do here, he can run right up to you, and the timing's a little tight, but you should always be able to make it in time. So this is a little tight. You really just need this to be even or just a little past this to safely run under. When in doubt, don't let yourself get grabbed, because it's very easy. That's very close. Just be mindful of that. And not much to say here. Hit the switches. Run, go. Whoops. Do the puzzle. It's pretty easy. Run, grab the serpent ornament. Run immediately out. You should be able to get past them. And then do the 3 QTEs here. So if you're doing controller, if you watch my inputs, I'm hitting, well, it says AB, but it's really square X, or L and R, the triggers. So you can't hit them at the exact same time for the QTEs, but you can hit them in like quick succession, and that'll always work no matter what the QTE is. So if you see I'm doing that, that'll get the QTE every single time. And you don't actually have to see what it is. So nice little hack. No you, Soup. No you. All right. So y'all know the drill. We leave, and that's this chapter. Okay, now it's time for the dreaded 4-1. Oops. Oops. Or we could just skip for the 4-2. No, it's probably a bad idea. Okay. Okay. It's a 205. All right. And we're back. Okay. So, the dreaded 4-1. All right. So this is kind of the precision shooting chapter in the game. Not a lot of spots where you really need to have quick, precise shots, but there are several spots in 4-1 too. Be both quick and accurate. So you notice I skip the grenades and the free rocket. I don't have room for it, and we don't need it. So if you really want it for some reason, you can go grab it and get the large case or whatever. But really not necessary. Okay, so we want to kill this guy here. So you want to your shot will aggro this guy here, and you don't want to aggro him too early because we have to wait to jump through anyways, and he can grab you. So what you want to do is you want to wait maybe 2.5, 3 seconds, then headshot this guy, and then immediately jump through. If you did that, you should be able to run straight. So trigger the cutscene, run forward just a bit, and aim up, and we want to hit this little thingy twice here. If you miss one of the shots and have to shoot 3 times, that's okay. You still got the time. Do it. But as long as you hit it in 2 or 3 shots, the guy behind you won't have time to grab you. What? It keeps doing that to me, dude. I keep disabling cam, and it keeps not getting disabled. It's very weird. Anyways. Thank you, Val. So we run back past him. He should run back and shouldn't grab you, but we're gonna have to wait for this to come back around. So make sure you don't run right up here and wait up against this edge for this to come around. Scarlet Wound, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Because this guy will generally run behind you and grab you and jump over. So sort of run up here and slow walk it. And then run towards it when it gets closer. Okay, kind of a lot of running too in this chapter. So we get in one little baby coaster to go around the castle. Open the door. Go get another little baby coaster. Y'all know the drill. Okay, so now I like to do this room first, but it doesn't really matter. So this is the fastest way to do this little puzzle. But honestly, do I need to waste energy explaining this? I would hope not. Okay, so you can disable these before entering and doing the cutscene. It's a little bit faster and easier. Shoot the drill zealots here when cutscene happens. Funny story, they don't actually have HP. Anything which makes contact with them will kill them, including an egg. One of the few enemies an egg will kill. And if you aim it well, you can hit them in the head and their head will fucking explode when hit by an egg. It's awesome. Okay, so we're heading over to the Armaduras. So I do a very quick strat that the speedrunners do here. And I will show a safer strat, a little comfier, which doesn't require very quick shooting, because you have to be very quick and accurate to do this strat. So if you're not really comfy with your shots, I wouldn't suggest doing it. Because the timing is rather tight. You cannot miss, and you have to be very... Okay, so you want to... for both the strats, I like to line up to the side, not immediately. So run to the left and move a little bit forward to where you can still grab it. But if you move like a couple steps further forward, you won't be able to grab it. That's ideally where you want to stand. So immediately turn to the left for either strat and aim at this guy's head and hit it immediately. And then you want to quick turn to the right and then let this guy sort of walk in to your shot, hit him in the head. And then, so in this case, this shot's a little tight. You want to quick turn to the right and then aim up and hit him. And if you're very quick with those shots, you can flash them all there. And once again, flash is weird. That little pedestal in the middle, if the flash goes underneath or on one side of it, it can block the flash from hitting, affecting the plagas. So the safest thing to do is just to throw the flash on top of the pedestal. That is the quick swag strat, but I'll show the other safer way to do it in a sec. So for the second round, you want to reload, go back to the entrance, stand sort of on the left side, and then aim for the guy on the left. You can hit him almost as soon as his sword moves, basically. So shoot him, quick turn to the right, shoot this guy, and then aim for this guy in the middle. He's going to be coming up the right side. He's weird, so you have to be careful. He randomly takes, sometimes his helmet will not come off when you headshot him. He's the only one that does this. Sometimes he takes chip damage after that. So if his helmet doesn't come off, watch him and be prepared for that to happen. You want to equip the TMP, run around the center here, and shoot him in the head with the TMP, and then that should do it. You can also hit him with the rifle, but you have to be very fast. And you want to grab this money. That's a whole bunch of money. But that is the quick strat. The safer strat, it gives you a little more time to hit the first couple shots, but you still do need to be quick. But it makes the third shot much comfier. Okay, so we're gonna start the same for both waves. Shoot this guy, but instead of immediately turning to shoot the guy on the right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna run around the pedestal, and if you hit the first two guys relatively early, so these guys are idiots. If you run like behind them, they'll just kind of stand around, and that gives you like all day to shoot this guy. You do need to be a little mindful of where this guy over here is. Sometimes he could be right in your face, in which case you need to run a little further to shoot him. But that is one way to do it. So headshot, run around. Gives you a lot more time, and he's not a moving target now, which makes life a lot easier. And then we're going to do a similar thing. Is this really quiet? Feels really quiet. Oh yeah, it is very quiet. Okay. When did Davido get VIP? Oh, because I was messing around. So we're going to do the same thing. Shoot those two, but then run around. And then if you run around, just run around until you hear everyone stop. Then you're going to have all day, basically, to shoot this guy. So yeah, and that's the safer strat. Basically, I was joking around and asked if he wanted to be mod, and really didn't have any intention to mod him, and I felt bad. So I was like, okay, you know, you should be VIP. I feel bad. Hey, what's up, Davido? What's up, bruv? Yeah, doing a guide. Okay, so we got both chalices. We're going to come around. We're going to grab this flash. So this area used to give me a lot of trouble, but it's very consistent doing it this way. So what you want to do is, so there's these guys in front aggro when you are around here. And the guys in the back won't aggro until you run up further, but you don't want to go up that far. So what we're going to do is we're going to run past this little pillar here.
Wait.
And right when we get around the pillar, we're going to tell Ashley to wait. And then follow. Make sure. Wait, follow. Make sure she's following you.
Follow me.
And then we're going to run a little past the pillar, and we're going to turn to the left. So what this is going to do is, if you're facing these guys, they're going to throw a scythe at you, and you're not going to have a good time. That's not ideal. So we're going to turn to the left, and as long as you're not facing them, enemies will not throw objects at you. So we're turning to the side, but we're moving our camera so that we can see what's going on here. And when this group gets around you, we're going to run forward and around. And if you timed it correctly, none of the shield guys should be able to hit you. And these other guys are too slow to hit you anyways. So we're going to tell Ashley to wait here.
Wait.
And you want to be a little quick here. But, you know, you got quite a bit of time to work with before the group can hit you. Okay. So this is one of the first strats we do that is significantly slower than the speed strat. Because this area is just not remotely safe. What we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to spawn the cutscene, we're going to turn around immediately, go out, jump over the window. And we're just going to basically snipe these guys out of the air. So one thing to note is, I forget what the damage multiplier is for these guys when they're in the air, but it's massive. So you want to wait until they're in the air. And the way you can do that is, notice I come in and I face the wall. If you're facing away, they will jump up rather than try to be attacking you through the wall. Also, you want to stay sort of away from the wall too. Novies are easily the glitchiest enemies in the entire game. So this strat is like 99% safe. But because Novies are Novies, sometimes they can actually, when they're on the ground, they can crawl like through the, like a crack in the window or something and glitch through and then grab you. So facing away usually avoids that because they'll usually jump in the air. But yeah, we wanna kill those guys and then go shoot this the bridge down. All right, so I'm actually short on money here. I will be in the next chapter because I didn't kill the enemies that I normally do in the water room and lost out on a lot of money. So what I should have done was I should have grabbed the yellow herb on the way to the Armaduras, and that red herb, and then a green herb. There are plenty of ones coming up, and then combined for 10,000, and I would. But anyways, we're gonna buy a
What are you buying?
a rocket here. That's all we need. We should have plenty of money. We're gonna use that on the Armaduras, or sorry, the Garradors. All guys coming up. So you got a couple options here. The slower one is to there are two guys patrolling here, which aggro the catapults when you cross that line. If you kill them both, which it takes, you know, like 30 plus seconds to kill them both, you can headshot them with a rifle, and then when you run through, you could run through safely without worrying about the catapults along the right hand side. Or since we got an extra grenade, you can come up and we can grenade this group. You want to come around to the back right of this guy, but not right in his face so he can't grab you. Grenade the group and then floor him with the TMP. And then you want to run forward because these catapults are incredibly random. Run forward to bait out one volley of catapults, and then run back because if you get really unlucky, they can hit you pretty far back. So you want to run back, which is why we floor the guy, and then run forward and then. Okay, so clock tower. If you want, you can hit the third one way up if you position yourself correctly. It's kind of hard with the TMP, though. So we're going to run up. I actually, I'm actually not as happy with the strat I use here. There is another one which I need to figure out consistently. That is faster and I think slightly safer. But what I do basically is I run around, and I was actually trying to aggro the guy. So there are three archers. There are 2 archers over here. They're behind this pillar, and they sort of make their way out here sometimes. And then there's one down on the floor right below you. So what I wanted was I wanted this guy to start shooting. So when he's done shooting, I can jump down immediately, and then these guys will not really be able to hit me where they're standing. And then I can go floor him, and I can go flash these guys, and then go on with my business. But the slower strat is basically wait up here. This guy, if he doesn't shoot, will start walking around and will come up the ladder. So listen closely. Once you hear him coming up the ladder, kind of hard to hear. There it is. He's climbing up the ladder. Jump down. As long as these guys did not move to the left much, they should not be able to hit you from where they're standing. I mean, this is slow, but it's pretty consistent. And then we want to flash this group here quickly because the other guy can jump down and shoot you if you're very, very slow. But and then, okay, so right here, you jump down, the cutscene happens. Look at my inputs. What you want to do is you want a quick turn to the right immediately after the cutscene, and immediately throw the flash to flash the entire group coming in. So you need to be, in order for this to work, you have to be holding right with your thumbstick, the aim, and then the throw. You have to be holding all of those before the cutscene happens. So you can basically just hold them during the cutscene to throw them in the right place immediately after you get down. If you're just a little late, the most annoying enemies, namely the archer, won't be flashed, and you got to deal with them. But if you do, then they're literally all flashed. It's wonderful. So we go get that grenade. Everyone's flashed. It's 60 FPS. They stay flashed for an eternity. We just run right by them. Okay, so this group of enemies, I played a little safe here. There's a little invisible line here which spawns enemies over here. And if you run immediately forward and try to, what we want to do is we want to bait out an attack from all 3 guys at the same time. Sometimes you have to wait. If one gets ahead of them, you got to like bait out an attack and let the other guys catch up. So like we do here. But when they all attack, you run by. But if you do it, if you run immediately up to them, you will spawn these enemies, which is bad, before you bait out the attack, and that's a little scary. But as long as they're far enough back, you bait out an attack, run by them. Spawn the enemies. You want to bait out an attack from the flail guys. Sort of you want to be in the middle, too, because you want them both to attack at the same time. And then sort of run straight at the door. Like, this guy's going to aim at you. He wants to shoot, but he's not going to have time if you take a quick path. All right, so Gyarados. This is another precision shooting section. The easiest way to do this is to actually... Okay, so the unarmored Gyarados will die immediately with the rocket shot, no matter where you shoot it, pretty much, as long as I hit some with the splash. But the armored Gyarados takes 1 more hit to the Flaga. So if you shoot the wall, then the armored Gyarados will sort of lean forward, and you'll have a relatively small area that you can shoot. But if you shoot the armored Gyarados directly with a rocket, he'll turn around and gives you a much bigger target to hit. But you do need to be quick, because these guys can both run down at you and grab you if you're slow. So that takes some practice, but basically just floor them whenever they come down. I grabbed that incendiary, which actually I think it turned out to be not super necessary. And then the money, and then from each, and then a spinel, which actually, thank goodness I grabbed that. Okay, and then the last part. So I grab an incendiary and the crown. Definitely want to grab the crown. Don't sell the crown until later, because we're going to combine it for...
Welcome.
It's like a solid 60-something thousand when you combine it and sell it. It's worth a ton. Okay, so here, in my YouTube run, I sell the rifle. which I decide not to do because having the rifle around makes a few spots easier later in the game. And it turns out I don't need the space or the money, so it's fine. So what I do is I sell the shotgun.
What are you
We replace it with a striker, which is a far better shotgun, and it takes up less space. It's quicker. It holds a lot more ammo. It's stronger, but mostly it's quicker, and it's got a huge spread, which is generally nice. But like I said, this is glitchless. We're not allowed to use a Ditman, but it is just a better shotgun. And also, you want to buy a rocket for Verdugo. Couple little treasures there. All right, so running up to Verdugo. I actually get lucky here, and I get a couple good QTEs, and I can actually just run past the second. So if you get that or the water one first, and then you get the water one second, you can just run through the door and not do the QTE. Completely unnecessary, but a little faster. If you get the grab from above, or you don't get the water one second, then you can't. You gotta do all the QTEs. But yeah. So you can run right by Verdugo. If you get a QTE, I would do it. But be careful when you have to be really careful about this. You can get super unlucky, and I've lost runs to this. When you run up to the canister, what you're going to want to do, what you're going to be tempted to do often, is to run immediately to the canister and interrupt his attack if he's attacking you with that little canister cutscene and then freeze him. But if you get a QTE, you will not be able to use the canister. It'll block your buttons to do the canister, and you'll just get hit. So you need to do the QTE if he's right in your face, and he does it. So be careful of that. But yeah, basically, just kick him so that he's not near you, and rocket him. He's frozen. Don't rocket him too close to you, because you will lose a run like that. And I have done it before, and it's very embarrassing. But that's the only thing. And that's 4. 4-1 rather. Okay. So 4-2. This is somewhat embarrassing. I am a little bit short because I had a weird 3-1 initially, and then didn't make up for the money later. So I had to sell some ammo, and this took longer than it needed to.
Welcome.
But
Got some
so we're gonna sell basically
Thank you.
red, green, yellows if you got them.
Is that all?
I sold my incendiaries. It turns out I didn't need them anyways. We got a lot later.
Thank you.
Sell any treasures you have except for the crown and the except for the combinable parts of the crown.
What are you buying?
And we're gonna buy 2 rockets. Obviously, you can only buy one at a time, but we're gonna rocket the boulder, and then we're gonna come back, buy another rocket, and then use that for the Dosi contents. Okay, so rocketing the boulder. Ideally, you want to kill these 2 guys here and blow up the boulder. So you want to aim towards those, like right around those barrels, and that should do the trick. So when coming back, you need to be a little careful. The bald guy is going to be a fire blower, and the guy with the hat is going to be a melee torch guy. They can be in different orders.
Welcome.
They can be sort of staggered, and might see one first or the other. Just be mindful of which does which
What are you buying?
when you're trying to run past them. Or, you know, just striker them both.
Come back anytime.
Okay, so we go back, we buy another another rocket, and we are going to use this on the Dos Gigantes. So this is actually not possible in the the NTSC GameCube North American version, but every other version you're allowed to blow up that building. And that one you unfortunately have to run through the whole thing, put the dynamite down, etc. Yeah, grab those items. Okay, so the movement here is actually important. It took me a while to figure this out, and this can actually be kind of a scary fight if they sort of don't do what you want them to do. So what we want to do is we want to trigger the cutscene, and we want them both to attack. In particular, we want the guy in the back to do like the big slam, and then that gives us plenty of time. We don't want them both on our tail as we hit the switch, because the game's really weird, and if they're both standing on this this trick door, which opens for the lava, usually the least convenient one will drop. So we only want to have one in there and the other guy far away from us. So what I do is I run forward. So I sort of run around to the back edge of this and sort of stay around there, and then sort of go straight towards the door, sort of even with the back edge, and run into until you trigger the cutscene. And then do a quick turn here. This guy behind you should attack right behind you, and then the guy behind him should also attack. Hopefully does that attack. Usually he does. And so then only one guy is going to be on here, so we dunk him. As soon as 1 foot is on there, you can do it. And then since he did that long attack, that gives us plenty of time just to aim and rocket this guy. I have actually lost runs here. It can happen. But that is a very consistent way to get them to not get in a nasty situation. Okay, so do be mindful this guy can attack you, but as long as you keep it. So go and grab all the items. I grabbed the first aid spray just in case I need to sell it later, because I'm not sure about money. But yeah, grab the money. If we only need 1 incendiary when we leave this chapter. So if you sold those 2, you shouldn't have to. But if you have the 2, then you don't need to really that stuff. Okay, so we also do a very... Notice all of our very slow strats involve Novies. Funny how that works. Kind of the shittiest enemy in the game. But so we do a very slow strat relative to the speedrun here. But it is completely safe. And... Oh, god damn it. My apologies. It is completely safe, and I would very much suggest doing this. Because it is so much nicer than dealing with them. So what we do, we come forward, there's a group of 4 here, and we kill them. I like to come not too far forward, not all the way back out here, and then kill this group over here that's closer to the edge, the right side. Because if you kill them second, sometimes they can come over above land and then come back down on the ground, and then going to take a lot longer to kill. You want them to be in the air. So we kill those 4, we exit and re-enter. The reason we do this is because as soon as you kill a Novi in here, Novies are going to spawn regularly in one of 3 spots along the top. And we don't want those guys to be coming in as we're trying to take care of the other ones. So what we do is we kill those 4, we exit, re-enter, and now no one's going to spawn until we kill another guy. So we're going to go up to this cave up the top. This, when you get near enough to it, will always spawn 4 Novistadors in here. So you'll see them spawn a bit, and they won't aggro to you until you get pretty close. So if you hang around here for too long, they'll start coming after you. But as long as you get to where you can hit them all, ideally you hit them 1 shot, but if it takes 2, it's not the end. But you wanna kill them, the entire group, while they're in the air. The worst thing that can happen is one of them lands on the ground before you can kill them. So we're gonna kill all of them, and then hit the switch. That switch is gonna spawn these 2 guys that I just killed here. And then since we killed some enemies, some will regularly be coming in through the 3 spots. But we're gonna exit and re-enter again. But yeah, I like to run down to the edge where I can kind of line up both of these for 1 shot. And if I'm lucky, I can hit them both at the same time. But if you stand in that spot, they won't aggro to you until you shoot. And it makes it much easier to line up a shot then. Especially because the striker has a very huge spread. Makes it extremely inaccurate from a distance. So we're going to exit again. You need to be careful here. If you have a guy near you, just don't fuck around with Novies. Just don't mess around with them. They can grab you from a mile away. So just kill them if they're in. Okay, so we exit again. We re-enter. Boy, this is slow, but it is safe. Just 20 million times safer than strat. So now we're going to go hit the final switch. So, thankfully, no one's going to be spawning up top until we kill these guys. And we took care of everyone, except for these 3 enemies that spawn after we hit the switch. So they're gonna spawn right outside the cave, but they will not be aggro to you until you either shoot or get too far out the cave. So what I like to do is I like to hang out around here. You can actually go a little further. But I like to wait until I get hit, 2 or 3 with a shot. Just to make life easier. But if you don't kill them all, that's okay. Before one lands, he's almost always going to come up and do the kick prompt. So do that, and then you can just run by him. If he does any other attack also, you can just run right by him as well. And that's the Novi Cave. So this I've actually lost more than one run here. So here's a trick I do to make sure I time this correctly. So these last 3 smashers, we hit a switch to open the middle one, or so the middle one goes up, but it's really hard to judge your location. So I used to try to run in forward after this, so and then be in the middle. But sometimes I get hit by the front one because I misjudge or the back one because I misjudge where I am. But if you run up against them and then walk forward until they smash, you're always going to be safe. So that's my little hack, getting through there safely. yeah, pussy strats, whatever. All right. So 4-3. 4-3's pretty simple. So basically, run through here. I like to this is definitely safer if you run through with a light equip load and not with a 2-hand weapon. So I run along the side here, run right up to this barrel. This is a flash. Hit with the TMP and then run immediately over to the crank. If you had light equip load and you shoot the barrel immediately and run immediately over here, and you crank right away, that's about as unsafe as it gets. That's about as close as enemies will get. So as long as you can be done cranking by the time an enemy gets to you, all you have to do is immediately quick turn to the left and then shoot with the striker, and that'll knock the enemy back. If you're not sure, though, stop cranking, shoot, and then... Okay, this area here, there are 2 things that can happen. So there are a couple enemies down here. There's this guy here, and then there's this guy over here. And so the first guy, the torch guy, if he yells, this guy right here will not yell, and he will come and attack you. But if he doesn't yell, this guy's always going to yell and point, and so you can always run right past him. And I'm not looking down, but there are some bear traps here, which are easy to run into if you don't know where you're going. So make sure you don't do that, especially if he comes and attacks you, and you have to bait on an attack him. So I go right in, I go up, and you want to be quick here. You grab the key, and you immediately leave. There's a grenade there. Please do not go grab that grenade. It's not worth it. It's very unsafe. It makes exiting very, very nasty. So immediately exit out here, and usually this lady's going to point. If she doesn't, you need to bait out an attack. But that's like the worst that's going to happen. That's like the worst case scenario there. Bait out an attack and run right by the If you're quick, you can shoot all these lights without dealing with these guys, but man, these are the worst, man. So I like to shotgun him. For that second one, you do need to be really quick in shotgunning him. If you don't aim down quick enough, then it can jump on you. And that's never a good way to end a run. Never feels good. Okay, because I was short on money because of dumb crap earlier, I grabbed these two things. But now it's time for the minecart ride, which is quite easy. As long as you as long as you're not very low on ammo. So I do have a lot of shotgun ammo. And I honestly have enough to just use just shotgun, just striker for the whole thing. But I wanted, just in case, I wanted to have plenty of shotgun ammo for the next chapter, for the elevator, in case the strat didn't turn out perfectly. We'll see that when we get there. But usually you're not going to need much shotgun ammo in the elevator run. To have a nice flash strat where ideally you only need to fire one shotgun or two. But we'll see that. Okay, so make sure at the very least you at least shoot down the south door. Well, I do a terrible job. Just a Vega aim here and miss there. But I don't believe she can ever have a Plaga, so I think you're fine if she jumps down. But what you want to do is you want to hit that switch as soon as it's you're able to. You have to wait for the minecart to completely stop, or you're able to hit the switch. If you hit it near right when you're able to first hit it, the minecart should be gone before the next group of 4 can jump into the cart, before any of them can. But if you're a little slow sometimes, you can. Okay, so I was a little worried about ammo, so what I do here is I let the Salvador, or not ammo, about money. I let the Salvador jump down. And I basically let one of the planks kill him so I can get his 10,000. So it's actually pretty easy to do. Probably a good idea to do either way. So what I do is I knock him down immediately, and then I just stay towards the back where he's not going to chainsaw me. And then I, as he's going over, I climb over as well. And then I bait out an attack there, so that he won't climb over, and then I let him get hit, and that'll kill him immediately, and then you get a nice quick kill. So these two guys, you can let them jump down, that's fine. They're never going to spawn a Plaga, and sometimes they some ammo or some money. And then the guys in the back 2 carts, once it starts moving quickly, they can't jump over, so they're never going to attack you. Okay, so QTE, grab the thing, exit. So as soon as you climb up, immediately turn to the right, and you can just run around this group. They're never going to get you if you run immediately. And then, let's go to the next chapter. Alrighty. So this is an interesting chapter. I used to have a little bit of trouble in this first area, but this is a very, very consistent strat that I found recently. This is definitely quite a bit different than what I do. Not quite a bit, but it's definitely different than what I do in my run on YouTube that I have up. This is a more recent strat. So what we do is we go and trigger this cutscene and turn around and immediately actually do a bad job. Oh, no. Should do a good job there. Turn around immediately and fire your TMP. So what this will do is this will aggro this guy here, and he will point as soon as you turn around, so you don't have to worry about him. You can just run right by him. And ideally, if you do it immediately, this guy over here should not be aggroed. Sometimes he'll aggro, and you got to fake him out, but sometimes he'll aggro and then jump down anyway, so it doesn't matter. So equip your hand grenade. So you can do this with a flash, but I use a hand grenade here because I would like to save some flashes. Okay, so wait a sec before you jump on here because you don't want this guy right here to jump on the thing and hit you as you're throwing. So jump, turn around. Don't hit that switch yet. We want to aim slightly up so that the archer won't have time to hit you before you blow him up with the grenade. Sometimes this guy will jump over. That's okay. What we do is we knock them all down with the striker. It's very easy. And then we hit the switch here. And then you can immediately run over here with no chance of anyone hitting you. And you don't have to knock these guys down. So, notice I hit him with the striker here. I actually don't think I needed to here, but sometimes... Oh, I actually did there. Sometimes they won't aggro, and they won't jump over. So you need them to be to like notice you before you hit the switch. And then generally this guy is just going to be standing there. You can floor him. Sometimes he'll be coming up the ladder, in which case you can just jump down. But if you did this correctly, you should basically never have any guys down here in your face. But if you do, shoot him and run past. The classic Mecha Salazar chase. And is definitely compensating for something. Okay, so I have a strat here which only works on 60 FPS. But it is a very nice one. And usually requires, you know, at most 3. If you're very unlucky, maybe 5 shotgun shells instead of a shit ton of shotgun ammo, having to knock a bunch of guys off. And it's very nice. So here's this is important. What I want is this dynamite guy. I want him to not destroy any of the barrels on the lift. And so what I do is I shoot this guy who operates the switch, so he stops sending stuff down. I shoot these 2 guys. It's nice to have the rifle here, because they're kind of annoying sometimes and can throw sights at you from a long distance. And then you want to take this path up. You don't want to go up the ladder. So you want to kind of around this area start hugging or like running towards the right wall here. And wait right around here, around that pillar. And he's going to throw his dynamite. And he'll throw it in such a way that it will not land on here and be blocked by a box and blow everything up. But it also will not hit you. So it takes a bit of experimentation, but you should be safe always there. So he's going to throw that. And he won't throw dynamite again until you move. So just run up and then boom. Cool, cool. So that took care of all those enemies. And then also, more importantly, it left all of the barrels intact, which we want. I meant to grab... There's an incendiary right here. I meant to grab that, but it turns out not a huge deal. Didn't super need it. Okay. So we're going to kill these 2 archers quickly. You could just do it with the striker. That's the easiest way to do it. And you want to destroy 1 barrel and 1 barrel only. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to striker these 2 guys so that this guy gets knocked off the platform but doesn't die. So make sure not to hit him in the head. And then this guy gets knocked down but ends up still on the platform over here. So the way the elevator works is if there are... so I think these barrels count like half a guy's weight or something. But if there are 2 enemies or more, or 2 barrels and an enemy on the elevator, it will not move. So that's why we want these 2 barrels here, because we want to knock him off knock this guy on, and we don't want the elevator to go up yet. So if the elevator goes up, as soon as it's above, this is a very strange strat. I don't know why it works, but it does. As soon as it's like above his ankles, the bottom, he's gonna die, and other guys will jump down. And we don't want that because, well, I mean, maybe you're good at dealing with them, but I'm not good at knocking them off. It takes longer. It's going to take a lot of ammo. Kind of a headache. But what we're going to do is we are going to wait until he gets up. We're going to shoot a barrel. Has to be with the TMP because you have to be very quick. And then we're going to immediately flash. Throw a flash down. So if you're quick enough, you have to immediately flash because, again, once the elevator goes up even slightly, he will not be affected by anything you do. You can't shoot him, you can't flash him, you can't anything. And he's just going to die quickly and the guys will come down. But if you flash him, as long as he stays flashed, he won't die. It's really strange. But on 60 FPS, you can have him flashed for a minute or just slightly more if you're lucky. And you can get the elevator, if you're lucky, almost all the way up to the top before any other guys spawn. But what you want to do is you want to listen for when he dies. Let me see if we can hear this. So when he dies, you need to be prepared to shoot this guy off before the next guy jumps down so that the elevator won't stop. So what I do is I stand here and I look to the side to sort of see where I am and judge how many guys I'm going to have to shoot off. Ideally, he dies before or after this bit passes this bit here. And it looks like he pretty much died right around there. So I face sort of... So this is a little complicated to explain, but I'm sort of facing towards this so that he's going to walk around to the side here. And then what I do is I shoot him every once in a while to keep him in a position where I can knock him off with the shotgun just whenever I want. I don't want to knock him off early because if you knock him off before the next guy jumps down, then two guys will jump down and then it's going to be harder to get up there. So when you hear the sound of the guy jumping down, we shoot him off. We got far enough up that we were able to make it, but usually you can't quite make it. You'll have to shoot him off. And then, so if you shoot him off, the next guy's going to jump down. Should have enough time to not have to shoot him off. But sometimes you got to shoot that guy off, and I shoot him off the same place I shoot the other guy off. And if you're really unlucky, you'll then get two guys jumping down. And then you got to shoot one of them off. But almost always, after you shoot one of those two guys off, it'll get up high enough for you to run off. It's a complicated strat, but I hope that sort of explained it.
Welcome.
Well, it's a very convenient strat, but it only works on 60 FPS as well.
Thank you.
All right, I'm selling stuff here, sadly, because my money was short. Normally this would not happen. This is a little embarrassing, but I was sort of winging the money route here. But you want to buy a rocket, and then we can just come in here, striker, 3 times in the eye. Make sure you hit the eye and not the surrounding bit, otherwise it won't do anything. And then rocket the face. The boss fights are very difficult in this run. Very, very difficult. Alright. So, I go with... There's a flash down here you want to grab. I forgot to grab the incendiary. So I want to have 2 here. But you can just grab this one if you didn't. grab that one. A little slower, but not a huge deal. And then get the money, and we leave. Okay, so I'm going to kill this snake here because I want the egg for a trick we're going to do later. And it very conveniently fits in a slot I left for it. Actually, it's not going to end up where I wanted it to, but never mind. And then we grab this other flash by a rocket, and we will be on our way. There we go. So I grabbed the flash.
What are you buying?
Carpum! Thank you for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome in. Yeah, you'll always have the money for that because you get 50,000 from Salazar. Okay. Time for the island. What? Oh, weird. Okay. Alright, we're coming up on 3 hours on the guide already. Whew, you hate to see it. Alright, so we should have, I believe, 2 hand grenades, 2 incendiaries, and 5 flashes here. So we run up, trigger this cutscene, and then shoot this spotlight so you don't have the guys rushing you. So just bait out an attack from this guy, climb up the ladder. So the game wants you to go hit the laser and then aim this mirror and then aim the next mirror. That is unnecessary. You can actually aim this mirror first. You can sort of pre-aim it. The place you want it to be, the way I line it up is I look at this right edge here. So there's a barrel here. You kind of can't see it here, but like the barrel's just like this. It's got a little piece of wood sticking out. You want to aim it so that that's just the right edge of that is visible just past this, like that, and then leave it there. Okay, so run around. I would not grab this magnum ammo. We don't really need that much magnum ammo. It just takes up space. So run around to the right side after the mirror to trigger this cutscene, and that is important. So run around to the right side, trigger the cutscene, run up to the edge, and throw a flash sort of down so that you're going to stun JJ here, the machine gun guy, and then also this guy to the right. He doesn't stun. I did a bad job throwing it, but it's not the end of the world. So the reason I run to the right there is because if you run off to the left and then throw a flash, those guys in there are going to aggro and they're going to come at you, and then you're going to have to deal with them. But if you do that, then you never have to deal with them. So we're going to go, since we already pre-aimed this, the laser is going to be hitting exactly what it needs to hit. Okay, so on 60 FPS, JJ should just now be unstunned. I throw another flash over there so it stuns him. And I wait a sec before running off here, because if you're unlucky, there's a taser guy which can be down here and can hit you right as you jump down. So just give it a bit of time. You got plenty of time before JJ starts shooting. Give it a bit of time so that everyone can clear the way when you jump down. Flash him and then run. And you should be good to go. Yeah, I can feel it, Gabe. My voice is going to be sore. This is definitely going on YouTube. Yes. Okay. So, there's a couple enemies in here. Just shoot the, that is actually unlucky RNG. All you gotta do is shoot the archer, and usually that guy will yell, and you can run right by him. But he didn't yell there, so I just shoot him and run by. Okay, so the movement here is a little important. This is kind of tight. So you want to run with just a hand grenade quickly up to this guy. And I actually do a bad job here. You want to shoot him. So I was aimed definitely. You want to sort of aim your body to where it looks like you're going to end up shooting to the left of him, but that's just that you should be dead on if you do that. you want to hit him quickly and then run right by him. And you should never be hit by the archer if you do that. But if you're not quick on the shot, you can be hit by the archer, so you got to be careful. Okay, so this archer is a giant dickhead. You really need to be hugging this wall, otherwise he can hit you. So I fake these guys out or just knock them all back. And like you want to take a really direct path to the door. You don't want to like go around because he can hit you really easily if you're not like hugging the wall. All right. So grab that incendiary. Oh god! Who could have seen this coming? Be careful about Evan, man. Grab that grenade. You'll always be safe to run directly in that door. Quick. He'll never hit you. Okay, so this, so there are two waves. There at the garage door, there's the dynamite guys and the archers. So the dynamite guys, they sort of spawn with dynamite already active. Or actually, no, it doesn't matter if it's active or not. But we can take them out completely immediately with a hand grenade. So what you want to do is you want to throw the hand grenade before you run a little past here, which makes the door open. So you want to throw the hand grenade. It doesn't have to be a nice throw. It could be anywhere around here. And then you want to run forward and let the door open. Force the door to open. And they should die immediately. So you don't want to trigger the door opening before you throw it. But you also don't want to be so far away that you can't trigger the door to open before it explodes. But it's really not hard with practice. So then you want to back up. If you're too close, then the door won't open. And we're just going to throw 2 incendiaries at these guys. Make sure you get them all. It takes a bit of practice. But you have to delay the second incendiary a bit. Because they won't take damage until that incendiary is basically done. So I'm grabbing this incendiary. There is some magnum ammo in here. Once again, we don't need a lot of magnum ammo, so I don't grab it. Another very difficult puzzle, 3, 2, 1. Grab this, turn around immediately. Exit, he's never going to catch up. Alright, be mindful, guy around the corner, but you can always fake him out very easily. They only do 2 attacks when you fake him out. The two-handed one, which is shorter, and then that one arm slam, which has a bit further reach, so you gotta be careful about that. Okay, so I grab that just for safety. I equip a hand grenade, and then fake this dude out and run by him. Really easy, no reason to shoot anything at him. Okay, so this area, I have some extra hand grenades. I specifically route them in, but the easiest way to deal with this, honestly, is with a hand grenade. So grab that. You need to be quick, though. You want to run right to the corner here, and then quick turn to the right, and then throw a grenade. The important thing is that it hits this archer and these 2 guys here. This guy, if you don't aim it perfectly, might still be up, but that's fine. You don't want the archer to not get hit by it. So throw it. It's actually pretty lenient to throw. And then jump down and just run by him. So grab this flash in the locker. It sounds like the guy's right behind you, but he's never gonna catch up and be able to attack you. So you're good. Okay, so this is 100% movement through here. I would suggest doing this. It's very nice and easy. So I enter this room on the left. I open the door on the left side, run forward, and there's going to be a taser guy here who's going to run after you, and then this guy right here is going to point. So this taser guy, you want to take sort of a loop here so that he attacks, but he can't hit you. This guy's going to point. We're going to bait on an attack here, and then just run right by him. And then this guy in the stairs, if you run to the right of him, sometimes he'll point. But if you run to the right of him, he's never going to hit you. And if you run along the right side of the stairs, the archer's never going to hit you either. So this is sort of important. So let me make sure we got that. So open on the left side, run around, bait on an attack, bait on an attack. Run to the right. Easy peasy. Very quick, that is 100%. Make sure, though, you have a light equip load, not a two-handed weapon. So we come forward, we're gonna, it's a bit of overkill, but we're gonna rocket this guy. Whatever, man, we got money. So yeah, if you want to do it early, you can just hit that right wall. Just make sure not to rocket yourself in the face or something. That's never good. Okay, if you really wanted out in this area with the birds and the merchant, you can get an incendiary and a flash, but we don't need it. But it's there if you need it. Okay, so these archers are like really inconsistent, just running out here and flashing them. So what I like to do is I come here, and before I aggro anyone, I went a little far forward here, but it was okay. If you walk forward, you should be able to aim and floor this guy before anyone aggros. And so you can floor him. And these other guys will not attack the archers until you run out in the middle. It's mainly that guy that I floored that's really random. So I come out and don't run out too far to the right. We wanna be here because we want the flash to hit early. Because sometimes they can get a shot off if they're really quick. But this flash is a little wonky. It just takes some practice. Sometimes it's gonna miss a guy or two. Honestly, as long as it doesn't miss this guy here, you're in good shape. See, it missed a guy, but we're still fine. If it misses that guy, there are ways to deal with it. You could fake him out, then run by. You could slow open the door, but ideally, it does not. What's up, D-Sun? Okay, so 5-2. So this is going to be slightly different because I loaded from a save. In a no-save run, there's going to be an extra enemy. Actually, I think 2 extra enemies. There's going to be an extra enemy or 2 in this mob over here. And you're going to want to do things, basically what I do in here, but it'll look slightly different. So, it's not necessary if you load from a save, but if you're not loading from a save, you want to get some enemies moving forward, like coming towards you to get in a better position early. So I tell Ashley to wait and follow here at the door. Then I run forward. And then I come out to the edge to where I can hide behind here, but he's going to be aggroed and he's going to shoot at the wall. And then when I do that, I aim a flash high so that it lands up against the back wall because there's going to be an extra guy out here near the exit. And if you don't aim up high enough, you're not going to flash him. So I also want to wait a sec to lure this this shield guy out because he's not going to get flashed. Oh wait, no, I did. Okay, that is the extra guy. Good, so I guess I did do this right after 5-1. But yeah, that shield guy, you want to bait out an attack, and you don't want him to be in a large group, because sometimes you have to run in such a way that you'll run by an enemy, and Ashley will decide she just wants to duck instead of following you, which is not ideal. So come in here, bait out the cutscene, and throw a flash on the floor. That'll flash everyone. Grab this. Don't tell Ashley to wait. Just run right out and you'll be fine. If you tell Ashley to wait, I've actually been incredibly unlucky and had an archer try to shoot me as I was running out and accidentally hit Ashley.
What is that thing?
That's never fun. So we go down in here. If you take a quick path to the switches, then this Iron Maiden back here that we passed by will not aggro to you yet, but even if he does, it's not a big deal. So immediately come over here.
Wait, follow, wait, follow, wait, follow, wait.
As soon as the thing, as you're done pushing, you want to aggro this guy. He won't aggro before that, but as soon as you're done pushing, you can do the follow wait. There are safer ways to do this. I mean, this is safe, but it takes some practice. You want to let him come out a bit, and then you want to wait until he does that attack. The arm attack. That is the only safe attack to run by him on. he'll either do the spikes attack or he'll do the arm thing. And usually if he does the spikes attack, he'll follow it by the long arms. And that's really scary. You need to actually back up and to the right to avoid it. But as soon as he does that, tell Ashley to follow, run by. Alternately, you could use an explosive barrel to stun him. Or you could lure him around, but, you know, dealer's choice. Thank you for the follow, Lisan. Appreciate it. That's the way I do it. Okay, this next area, we use another cool trick, which I would definitely argue is not a glitch. So this is one place where it's really nice to have the rifle, because these guys are rarely tanky. The rifle will take them out in one shot. So kill these guys. That back guy can have a plaga, but I mean, it's just one more shot. Not a big deal. And this is why we grab the egg. Okay, so what we're going to do is, normally when you jump down here, a large group of enemies spawns, and you'll either have to flash them a couple times, possibly 3, just to be safe, or you'll have to shoot a bunch of guys, and it's just a giant pain in the ass. But what we can do is we can use trick the game into not triggering the cutscene until we're in a spot where they're not going to notice us. So the things that trigger the cutscene is Ashley following you, and if Ashley's following you, when she jumps down, the cutscene triggers, the enemy spawn. Or if you tell Ashley to wait, as soon as you hit the ground, the cutscene triggers, the enemies spawn. But if she's following you, but for some reason cannot jump down, the cutscene doesn't happen until much later. So what we're going to do is we get the egg for this purpose. There are different ways to do this, but we tell her to wait here just so we can get her to duck. You make her duck by aiming an egg at her. You throw the egg. So now we don't have a anything equipped, but we keep the aim button held down. So Ashley's AI still thinks we are aiming a weapon, and so she stays ducked. But we're able to move now. So make sure to tell her to follow, because if you don't tell her to follow, as soon as you jump down, the cutscene's going to trigger. But did we hear it? Here. Or did I fuck that up and have to restart? I might have. I think I did, actually. Hang on.
Follow me.
Oh, I did. Okay. So you jump down, keep it held until you get over here. So the cutscene has not spawned. Now, as soon as you press a button when you get over here, the cutscene's going to happen. But you're in an area. As long as you stay in a small area here by the switch, these enemies will just stand there and they won't notice you. So let go of the trigger, and Ashley will jump down and come over to you, but the enemies won't notice. As long as you stay in this area. Nice little exploit there. Okay, so you're able to do the 3, pull the switch 3 times, trigger the cutscene. So this is not 100% necessary. Sometimes you can get really unlucky though when you're exiting, and an archer can hit you, or a guy can run up in your face and hit you. I budget a flash in so that I can throw it, so that'll never happen. Okay, so here I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna aggro this guy with a wait follow. Make sure Ashley's waiting, because he, if Ashley's following you, he will sort of want to go after Ashley, and it'll be difficult to bait on an attack. So tell her to wait, follow, wait, bait on an attack, and then run by him. And close this. That'll buy you a little more time. And immediately start doing wait, follow, so this guy around the corner comes around.
Wait.
And let Ashley hold the door open there for you.
Follow me.
So tell her to follow you, and as soon as you bait on an attack,
Follow me.
wait and then run right by. And then that buys you plenty of time.
Leave it to me, Leon.
Follow me.
And Ashley clipping through the door.
Wait.
So if you want this shoddy
Leave it
ammo,
to me, Leon.
just to the right in the box, but we're loaded right now. I think we got like almost 50 rounds. So yeah, I mean, if you got 50 rounds at the striker, I mean, there's not too much that can go wrong with this first section. Just go to town on these guys, this first wave.
Behind us!
I sort of will run towards the edge so they fade out attacks, and then they clump up, and then I can shoot them all at once, but it doesn't really matter. So Ashley's going to be opening with her inexplicable dump truck driving experience. So after you kill that wave and after you start moving, if you stand in the middle with your back to the enemies and right up against the edge, they will either never jump on or they'll try to jump on and fail. So there's enemies behind you, but they can't get up and they can't attack you. So 2 enemies spawn here, just murder them. And so this is nice because those enemies are not going to get killed. They're still going to be spawned in. And so that means enemies will not spawn later. Because only a certain number of enemies the game wants to have active at a given time. So you should only get 1 or 2 guys here. If you just get this one guy, he'll run, but you know, poor guy just can't quite keep up. So he's never gonna make it. Okay, so next is it's another area where it's very convenient to be able to save quit and rid the area of enemies, but we're not able to do that on this run. This strat is also different than what I did on my YouTube run, the run I have up on YouTube. This is a much better and faster and safer strat. Definitely do this. So what we're going to do is we're immediately going to run up the left ladder. Don't run forward yet. Just turn over, face this guy. Only the front guy here will start walking towards you. Once he starts running, then we can run forward and fake him out. If you wait till he starts running, then this back guy here will point instead of running forward. That's makes life a lot easier. So you're going to run by him. Careful, he's always going to throw there. And then we want to throw a flash back here in this divot so that the archer here gets stunned, these 2 guys, and then the guy behind also gets stunned. So you can safely run to get the switch. So there was a guy climbing up the ladder at the beginning, but if you're quick, he won't be anywhere near right where you exit. So run right back, jump down. If you're slower, a guy can jump down here, but you know, like we are stacked. These guys have no chance. You can just kill them anyways. And that's it. It's a really easy strat. The trick is just waiting until that first taser guy runs at you, so the back guy will point instead of running towards you. Okay. So this part, so you want to be a little, you don't want to take too long here to knock these 2 guys off. What we want to do is we want to clump these guys up and make sure they're not on the truck, and we want to incendiary them all. And that's going to make life a lot easier. So I knock them back, incendiary the group, and you want to have it so that you turn around. I kind of didn't do a perfect job here. But you want to turn around before the truck starts moving again, because that's when these 4 guys behind us will spawn. And if you do it quick enough, we can equip the TMP. We can shoot these 2 guys from right here. Then run forward and shoot. Ideally, the guys you want to shoot, you definitely want to shoot him because he can land on here. You want to shoot the back guy as well. He can land on here. and then the back guy over here can as well. So at least shoot those 3. See, that blocked me there because I wasn't quick enough. And then, since we incendiaried that group, we literally just have one guy left. So I just knife him because why not? It doesn't matter. Alright, now we have no one to deal with. So, this is much comfier. If you still got the rifle, it's just one rifle shot. And you're good. Okie doke. Alright, so... Now, okay, now's... I'll explain this in a second. Okay, so we grab the incendiary, and we go to the merchant, and here I buy a rocket, which I would suggest doing. Or you could do it later, it doesn't matter. But there's a small route difference that I would do now. This is why I hate doing guides, because as soon as I record stuff, I think about a better way to do things. So what I would do here is, I do later, I don't have the money now, but later I get the Killer 7. We don't actually use it that much, and we don't use it much to kill. So I would actually, instead of buying the Killer 7, I would buy the Broken Butterfly here, which we do have plenty of money for. That would be an improvement for the route. We got plenty of space for the Broken Butterfly as it stands. And we mostly need it for stunning. So that's what I would do in the future. It's like half the price and much easier to afford. Okay. So the reason I would like to have the Broken Butterfly there is because during the U3 fight, in the cages, you can get really unlucky and he can jump down in such a way that your path is essentially blocked and you don't have room to fake him out. And so really your only option is to stun him and run by. Magnum is basically perfect for that. Stunning him with any other weapon is very extremely inconsistent. So a Magnum's fantastic to have there. I would suggest getting the Broken Butterfly. Okay, so the movement through there, as long as you stick to the right edge here, you'll always have enough time to run over here before the archer can shoot you. So I go in here, I knock this guy down. I'm grabbing the flash in here. And then come back out and then knock everyone else down. And then it's time for everyone's favorite unskippable cutscene. Oh boy. Been a long time, comrade. Krauser died in the grass 2 years ago. Is that what they told you? You're the one who kidnapped Ashley, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We all know it. Okay. Okay, so the lasers. Okay. When you're running through here, you want to have a light equip load, just one hand or no hand weapons. Well, hand. You don't want to have a two-handed weapon because you cannot make it through on 60 FPS, I believe. I think you can on 30, but not on 60. You cannot safely make it through the second set of lasers here like that. You have to actually wait. But if you have just a one-handed weapon, if you have a grenade here, if you could just run straight through that second set of lasers. Okay, so we go hit the switch. Here's a little speed trick. We actually used to run towards the lasers, but that's slower. You could just turn around and try to hit the switch again, and then the lasers will be immediately there, and then immediately hit the QTE. Go, you could sit on the throne if you like. Alright. So if you didn't buy the rocket, you need to buy it here now. But yeah. So here I don't have a Magnum. So we'll see in one spot I actually kind of play it safe and wait around a bit. But a Magnum's really nice to have in the cages. Alright, so keep your light equip load here. Alright, so the opener here, he can do two things. He can come at you quickly like this, or he can come a little slower. The slower walk. either way, run in and bait out an attack, and then run by. Be careful with the quick one though, because he's going to be closer to you than you expect. All right, so he can either do a QTE, and or he'll jump down. As long as he doesn't jump down really early behind you, you can just run right by him. You don't have to bait out an attack. But if he does jump down early, you either have to bait out an attack or hit him with a magnum. So you can run around. This is sort of unfortunate timing. So the worst thing that can happen here is you run around to this switch, you hit it, you turn around, and then dumbass U3 jumps down right behind you with your back to the switch, and you have no room to back up to avoid an attack when you bait it out, and you have to stun him or you're going to get grabbed, and that'll be rip run. So in that case, if I had a magnum, I would just run for it, and if that happens, whatever. What I'm doing is I'm waiting here because either he can jump down or he'll do a QTE somewhere. I'm waiting for him to jump down, so he'll be back here, so I can run to the switch, and then I have enough room to quickly run out. He doesn't do anything because he's just going to do a QTE when I hit a certain point. Right here. But that's why I do that there. Okay, I grab this incendiary here. Just as backup. It's good to have some extra for 5-4. So hit that switch, hit that switch. If you're really quick, he won't be around the corner yet, and he can do this little QTE thing. Do that, and then bait out another attack, and then he'll jump up, or let you go by. Again, this is another spot where your exit can be blocked if you're unlucky. If he jumped down earlier. In which case you wouldn't want to use the Magnum, but that doesn't happen here. Okay, so here there's a nice little trick. You can grenade this switch through the door. So you can activate both switches before, like, Scissorhead U3 spawns. So it takes a bit of practice, but it's pretty lenient. I actually throw it a little to the left here, and I thought I wasn't going to hit it, but still, it's a switch to the wall. You just want to have your back all the way up against the corner, and you just don't want it to be really too far left is usually the problem, but it works out there. So equip your rocket, go do this, run right out. No matter what he does, he won't get you. Okay, so I grab these, not super duper necessary. Okay, this is another case where you can lose a run because you run forward too far after the cutscene. I almost do that here. But you just need a cutscene, or you just need to rocket him, and then one knife slash. That's the fight. So make sure you're not holding run after you skip the cutscene, and you'll be fine. Also, another thing to mention, he has a period of invulnerability when he's phase transitioning. So you do need to wait just a split second before you knife him. Otherwise, the knife slash won't do anything, and you gotta knife him again. That's not the end of the world. Alright, I will show this later. I would grab this. There's a grenade there. I would grab that. Because I have an alternate strat for Saddler for the Broken Butterfly that I use. And I would suggest getting the Broken Butterfly and not the Killer 7. Because Killer 7 is absurdly expensive. And we use it like 5 times, maybe. It's not super worth it. So if you're careful, you don't have to blow up that group, but it's pretty mindless and easy to just blow up the barrel and run right by.
What are you, boy?
So here I buy the Killer 7. Otherwise, we would just run right by him if we already had the Broken Butterfly.
Come back anytime.
Yeah. Okay. Krauser fight. Krauser's fun. Takes some practice. A lot going on with this fight. Okay, so this first phase, he has 3 attacks he can do. All of them, even the TMP firing, are never going to hit you if you keep running right to the door. So I like to run sort of like along this right side a bit. as we enter, and then go right to the door. Even if he's shooting the TMP, it's going to stay ahead of you. It's scary, but it never hits. So just keep running. So I don't actually need this magnum ammo, but you got time to come over here, grab it. Okay, so the trick here is you want to be up at the top of the stairs, and you need a body slash and a head slash, or 3 body slashes to end this. And the easy way to do this is to aim down, and before he can attack, you slash him in the body. Then he'll move over to the right, and it positions him easily so you can get a head slash pretty nicely. But you don't want to wait until he attacks, otherwise it's very difficult to get a head slash in the second one. So there, turns around, you got a million years to slash him in the face. We get him successfully. If you get a body slash, you need to slash him again, so be careful. And then you can slow open the door while he throws the flash, and you won't be stunned. Kind of nice. So I come up here, I grab the flash. All right. So if you save quit or restart here, he will spawn up here, and it'll be very different. But we're not allowed to do that. So when you run through here, he will either be right here on this side, right here, in which case you'll see his shadow right here, or he'll be right out here. I think you can usually see his shadow here too. So he's right out here. I unfortunately got some kind of shitty RNG and had to do the QTE thing. But if that doesn't happen, he's just going to do a slash, which you can run right by. And then just keep running. There's like one scenario where you get incredibly unlucky and don't do great movement, and he can start shooting and actually hit you. But that is very, very rare. Even if he starts shooting, usually it's going to be like behind you. Okay, so if you're quick, if you just take like a half step forward and then aim up, you can slash him in the face and he won't jump up. But basically, it's a face shot with the Killer 7 and a body shot will end it. And you can basically consider like shots and knife slashes as equivalent. So like a knife slash to the face, a knife slash to the body will end it. Three of each to the body. Not sure what it is with the broken butterfly. Probably have to add in another shot. But yeah. Oh, I didn't get the quick statue. I hate to see it. But yeah, you do need to be really careful during this. If he jumps up, he's either going to do the TMP at you, in which case you want to immediately shoot him in the body with the Magnum to stop that, or he's going to throw a grenade, in which case you shoot the grenade out of the air to blow it up and then do some damage on it. But yeah. Okay. So there's a hand grenade up here, but it's unnecessary. We're set on ammo. Especially if you grab the hand grenade earlier. So Krauser's going to spawn over here. If you run to the switch, hit the switch, hug the wall, and immediately jump out, he's pretty much never going to get you. The worst that could happen is you're a little bit slow and he grabs you from behind and you have to do QTE. That's the most annoying one. You got to like shake him off. But you're not going to do it. So here, if you take a really direct path, like I do, sort of quick turn here and then run right past here, there's like a kamikaze robot that explodes over here. It's still never going to hit you.
What is it that you fight for, comrade?
And if you run immediately through here and up the stairs, that the machine gun bot's never going to hit you either. Okay, so final Krauser fight. There is a very, 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 very easy strat that I absolutely suggest you learn.
Prepare for your death, Leon.
So basically, you run straight forward, just to his left, in the beginning, and as soon as you see him start attacking, you quick turn to the right, and you have to have light equip load, so a grenade. And whatever attack he does will miss, and then he's going to jump back. So turn around, and you don't want to run immediately, because if you're close to him, he'll start attacking after the first flip. You want him to do 2 flips. So you want to be basically right in his face, and you corner him. And this is good timing here. You want to slash him so that he's got his back to this corner. You don't want him to slash too late so that his back is like to this side, because he can kind of get out of it. But if you did this correctly, a slash should knock him down, and then you slash him sort of in the face to get him up, and then you repeat. And that's a really easy fight. If you successfully set that up, the only thing you need to be careful of is you can't slash too quickly, because his stupid arm has a very large hitbox. And if you slash the arm, it will not stun him. It's very easy to accidentally do that, and it's like he blocks it. So you need to kind of not be super quick, too quick with it. But again, you just run forward until you hit like the edge almost. Quick turn, wait a sec. So you notice how I'm waiting a sec there and then aiming up a bit. And yep, very easy. Some magnum ammo further forward if you want to grab it, but we don't need it. And now it's time for the final chapter. Oh my god, this is going to be longer than 4 hours. Holy shit. Okay. 5-4 real. I re-recorded 5-4 because I wasn't happy with it. Hey, what's up, Whack? Can we get some cat blushes here? Okay. So, oh, it's going to be like 4.5 hours maybe. Okay, so we have 3 incendiaries. We could have one more. We could have gotten one before the regenerators in 5.2. And if you're not super comfy with these incendiary throws, it's good to have a couple backups, because they are harder than they look. So we're going to be using these incendiaries to take out the machine gunners here. One incendiary will do it. For some reason, a hand grenade won't. Incendiaries do more damage to them. Okay. So you want to not cut in too far, or else this archer will shoot you, but sort of angle around and then end up like right around here. And you want to be right up against the wall. This is a deceptively difficult incendiary throw. You want to aim up quickly, so notice, you don't have to do this, it takes some getting used to. But notice I'm using the D-pad and the thumbstick to aim. Yes, I am an invert control pervert, because that is the proper way to do it. So that aims up quickly. You want to aim, if you try to throw it directly at him, it's going to bounce off like here. Usually, and that's not good. So you want him to aim a bit to the left of him, like here, so it lands to the side and behind him a bit, but not too far to the left. It takes some practice, but you'll get good at it. So that'll kill him. Make sure this archer's not aimed at you and shooting. It's a little bit of RNG there. So we knock him down. Okay, so this. You need to be a little careful. There are 2 sort of cutscene spawn points here. There's one like right here, just to the left of where I go, and that'll spawn these enemies over here, and some different enemies over here. You don't want that. So you want to knock this guy down, jump over. Be careful, because it's very easy to trigger this if you... grab this hand grenade here, and then skip the cutscene, and that'll spawn these guys over here. So before you knock the ladder down, aim the grenade down, pretty far down, but not all the way down, to knock these guys down and then also blow off the lock on this. And you need to do that before you knock the ladder down, because as you jump down, the grenade will disappear during this little cutscene. So you want it to explode before that. So quick turn around. These guys should be knocked down. The lock should be out the door. Alright, there's going to be a shield guy here. Sometimes a guy right behind you, but whatever magnum you got, just use it to knock him down. Shield guy's going to jump down. You know. So what I'm doing is I want to climb this ladder, but there's some enemies up here. There's that shield guy, and then there's another mace guy and another shield guy. And I need to sort of wait until they jump down, because it's not 100% safe to go up before they have. So make sure you take care of the guys over here and whatever guys jump down. So generally, the mace guy's going to jump down right after the shield guy, before the shield guy can attack. But just to be safe, I shoot the shield guy. In case he doesn't, because it's a little bit of randomness. Okay, so I got the flash here. You can climb that other ladder, kill this dude here. But Mike's just about to kill him anyways. So Mike is on a timer. He'll tell you to take cover and start shooting. After a certain amount of time after you enter the area. So if you took a long time to incendiary this first guy, then Mike might be a little early, but he's still gonna kill us. As long as you've spawned him. You have to be careful. That was a little spicy. Sometimes Mike is just a terrible shot, and will not be shooting this guy. And if he's not, if that guy's not dead, I would not run out yet, because you can get shot back. So I run over this little alcove. I kill this one guy and floor the others. Sometimes this guy's a little slow. But... So the thing here is, okay, so we got the machine gunner here. We got an archer down in this corner, sort of to my right on the floor. Sometimes Mike will take him out, but rarely. So you want to wait. Listen for the archer shots. He can shoot you as you run by. So make sure he shoots and then run by. So run up the stairs. You get iframes on this, so as long as you run right to this, you will not get shot here. I grab the hand grenade, turn around, and then hit him with the magnum. And the purpose of this is to knock him back into the area where he can be flashed. And also so he doesn't attack you. But I very much suggest shooting him first. It's way safer. So I got a flash. You aim it up pretty high so that it still hits the ground there, but pretty far back, and it'll almost always stun him. But that was a little spicy. Make sure JJ gets stunned before you run by. But we do that because this idiot archer down here can hit you as you're going down. And these other guys too. Okay. So this next area is pretty consistent, but there's a little bit of randomness in a couple spots, and we'll cover how to deal with it. So I run right to the ladder. If you have light equip load, you're always going to make it before you get shot. So there's a shield guy coming down here. Sometimes he gets killed by the gunners, but he doesn't here. So we're going to get your magnum, whatever it is, and we're going to hug this wall. The rocket launcher guy is going to come out, and you want to hug the wall so that he comes out far enough so that we can basically, before he ducks, shoot him in the face and knock him off. Or shoot him wherever. Any magnum will do that. But if he starts ducking, he's not going to get knocked off. He's just going to fall down, and he's still going to have his rocket, and you're going to have to deal with him again. But as long as you do that and knock him off, it'll do enough damage that it'll either kill him or he will not have his rocket. So if this guy was not killed, you want to take care of him before he comes up. So what we're going to do is there are two other machine gun guys here, but the machine gunners abide by the bro code. The bro code being do not machine gun your homie. So as long as you're standing near him, they will not fire at you. So around this area, that's maybe right near the edge of as far as you want to go before. So this guy's never going to shoot at you. Well, he actually could sometimes, but Don't go too far to the right. Stand sort of near him. But what we're going to do is we're going to kill this guy with an incendiary. This is another slightly tricky throw. Another thing, you want it to land like behind him and a little to the left, not in front of him because it's going to bounce off. But there's this weird area, like right in here, where it would just go through the ground. It's very strange. I don't get it. But throw it sort of to the left, kill him, and so we kill him with the incendiary because he's got a helmet on. These other two guys, we could just shoot in the face. And with the rifle, we'll one-shot. So we have a backup incendiary. If you're not comfy with the throws, I would suggest having 2 backup incendiaries. So then we're going to exit. We're basically just going to shotgun guys in our ways. Be careful. Right as we come out here, you could have like a dude like right in your face. So be ready to turn and fire immediately. So we want to be quick about it. And just to be safe, I have an extra grenade. Throw it down here, and that way when you jump down, any guys that could attack immediately are taken care of. Also make sure you don't jump down when, like, right as this guy's, like, right after this guy throws the dynamite, because you're going to get hit. That should clear the area. And then it's a pretty free trip to the next switch. Oh, never mind. I was looking at live time, not recorded time. So this might be right around 4 hours. Alright, so we go hit the other switch. Alright, so now, if you stay, if you don't pass basically this line right here, all these enemies are going to be coming up this ladder and coming out and then jumping back down and then repeating like idiots. They're never going to come up and attack you here. So, just like if there's some guys up here about to jump down, like floor them, what you don't want is you don't want some guys, they can instantly turn around as soon as you jump down here and be like right in your face. I like to wait until they climb the ladder. Like that. Just make sure there are no guys on this area as you jump down. And then you can just exit for free. It's very easy. Also, one other thing to be mindful of is sometimes an archer can spawn if you kill too many guys. He usually hangs out near the first ladder you went up. Just be careful, and you can kill him with a rifle. If he spawns. Another nice reason to have the rifle. Ah, poor Mike. He knew a goodbye. Alright. Running through. Alright, I'm gonna grab this flash. So I like to have the strat we use for the next area requires you to go in with 2 flashes. We have 1 extra flash as backup. It's nice to have. So I like to go into this chapter with 2 flashes. Which we did. And that is just 1 extra for safety. So this is significantly different than the run I did. Way fewer flashes that I do. And it's honestly more consistent too. Also, it's also really nice to have the rifle here. So I run up to right around here. It's a little, it doesn't matter too much. And you want to throw the flash. So we want to stand over here to where none of the archers or enemies will aggro. And we want to throw the flash so that it hits the ground sort of close to this platform and sort of in this general area. That was a good throw. And if you do it correctly, it'll stun this guy, this archer. If you don't throw it far enough back, it won't stun him. And then this guy over here, who's an axe thrower. Those are the guys you want to stun. If you don't stun the axe thrower, that is very bad, and you need to exit and re-enter. That's why we have an extra flash. And that happens if you throw it too far to the left, so make sure not to do that. If this archer doesn't stun, not the end of the world. You just have to be quick and headshot him. But that axe guy absolutely has to stun, or he's going to throw an axe at you while you're shooting these guys. So I shoot the platform archer, the archer up top, and then this archer here often spawns a plaga. That's actually totally fine and good. And then just break the shield so that you can flash him and run past him. We don't want to kill that guy. So the trick is, if you kill five enemies, JJ spawns. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we kill fewer than 5 enemies, and we're never going to have to deal with JJ. So we prioritize the archers, who are by far the worst. Okay, so we're going to let this guy jump down. And if you have no incendiaries, we're going to need to get an incendiary. We will, so the barrel just to the left here has an incendiary. You can just grab that as he jumps down. But make sure he jumps down, run up, grab the flash. So this is going to trigger the keycard guy to come out and the other wave. So what we're going to do is quickly skip the cutscene, run over here to this middle window, and then it's pretty lenient, but wait until you see him, like right around here, and then throw. And that incendiary should only hit the keycard guy and not anyone else. So he's not quite going to die yet, but it will put him in a position where this explosive barrel will kill him. So we're going to let the area clear a little bit. Sometimes an axe guy jumps down right here, so floor him. We're going to go and hit this explosive barrel. And if you timed it right, it should only hit the keycard guy, and that'll knock him back. Oh, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. There we go. It should knock him back in this area. Okay, so we're turning around. There's going to be a guy coming out here. Be careful. If you're a little too quick, some guys could be over here and could hit you, but we want to floor him. And so this archer up here, it's random. There could be an archer that spawns and hangs out right here. He's a big problem if he's up there when you climb the ladder. So what I do is I shoot when I get in this area, and that will aggro the archer if he's up there. And you'll be able to hear him shooting if he's aggro. But I do a quick look up to make sure. So if you do that shot there, the archer will come out if he is indeed up here, and you'll be able to see him here. If you don't do that shot, sometimes the archer will be hanging out up here in this corner and you can't see him, and you won't know he's there until you climb the ladder. But I can see clearly he's not here. There's just this one guy jumping down. So what I do is you don't have to floor him, you could shoot him, and then I just flash this group of guys and go up the ladder. If that archer was there, what you want to do is you want to hang out near that ladder where I was, and then you want to basically, as the guys try to open the door, shoot them so that they can't open the door. We don't want to kill him, we just want to stun him. And that'll buy us time so that, and floor this guy that just jumped down. Sometimes he's not there. But that'll give enough time for the archer to jump down. The archer will almost always jump down if you aggroed him back here. And then you flash him and go up. If the archer does not jump down, which happens rarely, but not that often, do the early shot. You want to flash their group of guys and then run back out here and aim up and floor them with the TMP. Should be able to just hit the legs. Otherwise, you're going to get shot in the face as you go up. So we go up, we put the keycard in. There's usually a guy here, sometimes there's not. Okay, there's going to be like at most one guy in here. Almost always it's a taser guy, but sometimes if you're unlucky, it is an archer. Honestly, this flash here was kind of pointless. Ignore this. Excuse me. Oh, well, no one saw it. I would throw the flash right around here. That'll still stun the guys down there, but it'll stun whoever else is in there. That's if you have the extra flash. See, that was kind of pointless there. Yeah, just careful. Even if you don't have the flash, don't use one there. Just shoot them. It's pretty safe. It's very safe. Then hit this last one. And I like to go around to the side here and jump down here. It's a lot safer, I find, than jumping down in this area over here. A lot less of a clusterfuck when you're exiting. So throw the flash down here so that no one hits you. If you have that extra flash too, sometimes there's an archer back there that hangs out in that area by that explosive barrel and can actually get very close to shooting you, or sometimes shoot you as you're exiting. So you could throw another flash out here. But even if he is aggroed, it's very unlikely for him to hit you. So we exit. Okay, so this you want to make sure they're spaced out quite a bit. You want to make sure you run far enough forward to bait out an attack from this back guy. Because you want them both to attack and then run by. All right, so we are going to talk to the merchant, buy a rocket.
Welcome. Gotta select. What are you selling?
And I'm gonna sell some stuff
What are you
just to make some room
buying?
and to raise some money.
Come back anytime.
All right, so we'll see this strat with the Killer 7. But honestly, you should have enough money to just sell the Broken Butterfly and get the Killer 7 if you like. So you can use this strat. But if you still have the Broken Butterfly, I'll show you the strat I have for Sadler for that. Okay, so this area is very simple. Don't let the Hammer Granado scare you. Just do wait, follow right around this corner before they see you. And this guy's always going to point, this front guy. And this back guy's not going to run at you.
Wait.
So just bait out an attack, run by, open the door. So be careful. On no save, this cutscene's going to play. Do not skip the cutscene immediately. Do not skip the cutscene immediately. If you skip it immediately, Ashley will usually be ducked back here near the enemies, and that is not good for her to be near the hammer guys and ducked. That is very not good. But if you wait just a sec for the cutscene to play and then skip it, she'll teleport right behind you, like we're about to see here. She'll be right near you every time, and you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so here's the Killer 7 strat. It's very easy. You shoot the left eye immediately with the Killer 7. You shoot the main eye when it goes down, and then you rocket it. And then that'll get you the special rocket launcher. Ada will be helpful for once. And you can finish the fight. It's very easy as long as you can get this first shot off. It takes a bit of practice, but it's a pretty easy shot. And back up a bit so you don't rocket yourself in the face. And also make sure you hit the eye. You can miss this shot, in which case you're in for a much longer fight. That is really not good if that happens. So make sure you hit the eye. This will spawn the cutscene, and it should be perfect timing for us to run right across, not have to worry about it dropping. Grab the SRL, shoot him. Pretty hard to miss with the SRL. Boom. That's the game. We all know how the jet ski escape goes, so I won't belabor that. Or here is what you can do. A strat I came up with like 10 seconds before stream started. That works wonderfully for the Broken Butterfly if you decide to keep the Broken Butterfly. So the Broken Butterfly is about half as strong as a Killer 7. So we're not able to do it in one cycle like we can there. So all you need is a hand grenade, which you can easily get. We passed up 2 hand grenades right at the end of 5-3, so you could just grab one of those if you're worried about not having enough. So you start off the same way, shoot that eye, and then instead of rocketing, we're going to shoot this eye 3 times. Be careful. It's easy to miss if you try to shoot too quickly. But we shoot it 3 times. That should make him come back up. We're going to equip the hand grenade. Make sure he's fully up or he won't stun. So fully up, throw the hand grenade. Then we're going to rocket the eye, and then that'll spawn the cutscene. Literally just as easy. And that's the fight. It's a little slower. You got to wait a little longer for this bridge to come up. But he's never going to hit you. Never going to have time to hit you. Easy peasy. So... And honestly, I would suggest doing the broken butterfly route. Because as we saw earlier, we really don't do a lot of killing with the Magnum. It's mostly just for stuns. And we usually can't afford it before U3 when it's actually quite useful to have. And it just makes the money work. So, Magnum, the main eye 3 times. Wait for him to fully come up, stun with a grenade, and then rocket the eye. Yep. And that's the run! And if you're wondering, I think I actually wasted a lot of time in the end of, whoops, not what I wanted. And the final, like, between chapter cutscenes. I don't know if the timer's still running, but I think it is, actually. So I think I wasted quite a bit of time there, but I still managed, the route was still under 2 hours. So it's a pretty quick route, and pretty consistent. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Holy shit, that is a lot of talking. A lot of info packed in there. But yeah, that is, that's the run.